What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Man, we're just enjoying our time together, enjoying a little pre-show prep and enjoying this Pittsburgh weather. Yes, indeed, man. So other than that, baby, living my best life. How you living, man? What's going on with you, Big Deke?
Everything's been good, dude.
Yeah?
Everything's been good. Not too much to complain about. The weather has been a little hot. Had some first world problems.
Some first world problems. Here we go.
About 24, 48 hours ago. Didn't know if I wanted to split up my YouTube channel between one channel or 4 channels.
I did see the on Twitter, the RIPs with the tombstones. Yeah.
The extra channels didn't make it too far.
Oh, man. So,
it would have been
what
too
was the
confusing.
backstory, man? What was going on?
It would have been
with this?
too confusing. I just thought it'd be a smart idea to split a bunch of my stuff into different categories. Just to test it out.
Yeah.
But then I thought more of it. I'm like, who knows what I'm going to be doing down in the future? It could be even more categories.
Yeah.
It'd be too
like 30
crazy.
channels?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. It'd be too crazy.
Gotcha.
Let's just put it all to one channel.
I can see that. I respect that. I like that, though. That's good self-awareness right there.
That's what I mean. I thought it was a good idea.
Man.
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
I wanted to try it. And then it took me like 24 hours to think on it. And I was like, I'm deleting these. I don't want to do it anymore.
But hold on. So did you go through the actual work of creating them and like getting the artwork?
Yeah. I even threw some videos on the new channels too.
Oh,
watched a video about the one that was, if we started to take 8 billion people up to Mars right now, like, what would that be about? And it was an interesting video, but they were kind of talking like this is going to happen within the next 50 to 100 years. I'm like, there's no way. Huh. Just starting, not necessarily all the people on Earth, but taking a portion of the people going up to Mars. It'd be great. There's no atmosphere up there. The gravity's all jacked up. Like, we would have to build all these domes. We'd actually have to take our
really
food
gave
up
this
there.
thing thought.
I did. I was watching it.
Nice. Okay.
It's not going to happen in our lifetime, is my take. It's good that we have people thinking about this stuff and trying to advance us just in case, What they basically said is we might have a Thanos problem where our population just keeps building and building, and our resources, we only have so many resources.
So we gotta
either
hit him with
it's either we need Thanos to be real, or we need to start moving to different planets and stuff.
Dude, I don't know what you were, doing this process of thinking of this Mars thing, man, but I need that. Like, help me open my mind up like that. I don't feel like my mind is opened up enough to just think about Mars.
Mars looks miserable.
Like, I'm not there.
You wouldn't want to sign up for it because you'd have to be wearing astronaut suits and stuff. Like it'd be terrible. It looks like something you would not want to sign up for.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you said that because I do see some people in the chat that have already signed up for Mars. CMF Sonny, he says he's already on Mars with the rocket ship and these smoke emojis. Donald Copeland says them boys, not them boys, that boy is on Mars. I'm still on Earth right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, but I like it. The people they definitely digging it, man. They definitely digging it. So this is something that we might have to look into down the road, though. Man, Mars. I don't want to live on Mars though.
That was one of the videos I did on the other channel.
They don't have sports on Mars either right now.
Yeah, I don't know how all that stuff would be feasible. It's gonna have to be a few thousand years down the line.
Well, you know what? I hope so. They can have that. I'm gonna just chill.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like how they painted it. It doesn't look desirable to go do. It doesn't at all.
It doesn't sound fun. It sounds, not cool. Not cool at all, man.
How was your weekend?
I was about to say, yeah, man.
Time
we
off.
got some catching up to do, right? Jeez. Good weekend, busy weekend though. Super busy, man. Football camps, golf, traveling. A lot of fun though.
More golf.
Yeah. I had a little golf. No, hold on. Was that this weekend? No, that was before the last episode. Excuse me.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the one that we got caught in a tornado. So no, that was
you're right.
That
you
was
already
last
said that.
week, but it wasn't going into the weekend. So yeah, other than that, then no golf. Just football camp. Had the Steelers football camp. We're in Triadelphia, West Virginia yesterday. It was crazy. Hot as heck out there, but awesome turnout. Shout out to everybody that was out there. Looking forward to more of those football camps. Those are always fun. Then the book meet and greet. That's what I had this weekend as well. Yeah, man. And
there had to have been some people. Is there people from the podcast? Anyone?
Dude, there was some people out there.
No way. That's dope.
I noticed this, man. The more that we're doing this, the more we run into people. I know me especially, they're running into people that say, man, I tune into the podcast. I'm a big Moats and Deke fan. I like when they say that.
That is great.
Because they got to specify like which show. And I told you this. I don't know if I shared it up here before, but I'm always like, yo, when somebody says, man, I love watching, I listen to you all the time. I'm like, all right. And then I'll have to hear him. They'll give a keyword. Like I listen to you on the radio all the time. I'm like, okay, that's this station. Oh, I listen to you on this app. I'm like, all right, that's that station. But when they start saying the podcast or YouTube or Deke, I'm like, okay.
Something about Ben.
You are talking about, if they say anything, they say that one, you know that one guy that loves Ben, that guy you work with that loves Ben, that guy? He's a homer. I was like, yeah, I know you're talking about that show. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one, baby. So yes. But I like it though, man. Like I said, it always cooks up, man.
I never asked you this. What golf clubs do you have?
Shoot,
this is so random.
I still use house clubs right now. Yeah, I rent them.
Oh, you rent them?
I rent them. I call it house because I'm used to bowling. Like in bowling,
I got you.
Before you get your own ball, so this is the house ball right here.
Okay,
then you get your own ball.
You got to test out the club, see what you like.
Absolutely. But I will say this. I've been liking, I think it is Callaway and Ping.
Okay.
Callaway and Ping have been the ones that I've had the most success with.
You know irons or drivers?
In terms of the different brands, not different brands, not like that. But I can tell you which club I like to hit better though.
Okay. What do you like, iron or driver?
I'm not gonna lie. I like the irons better than the drivers.
That's a thing. I'm telling you, my
brother
really
enjoy hitting irons.
My brother doesn't hit driver off the tee.
Yeah.
And one of my good friends doesn't. He's like 50-50 on it too.
Yeah, I really enjoy I feel like with the iron, it's more skill and it's more like you got to actually know what you're doing. Whereas I feel like with the driver, if you get the swing motion, like the club, I mean, it's so big, it does a lot of the work itself. So for me, I'm like, you know what, let me get this iron over here. I feel like I just got to be a little bit more skilled with that.
Okay.
Like,
nice.
Yep. But hold on, man. Let's get to this chat real quick. Let me see what
I got to pull it up too.
I have to say, man. All right, so we got Fonny Boy saying that he definitely wants more skits. We need to get more skits. You know, we might need to do that, man. We have not been coming up with skits lately. We're gonna work on some stuff, man.
The draft. Right. What was that? The draft that he's looking back on. Is that what it was?
Between that and then obviously we've done like I guess the other video would have been the car pushing one. Was that? I don't know. If
that's not even a skit. I was trying to do it.
Yeah, you really were trying. And I really wasn't putting my foot on the brake. So like, yeah, we gonna come up with some other stuff though, man. But let's see what we got in the chat, man. My man Justin says I go to Mars every day at 4:20 p.m. You know, I'm gonna have to go visit him one day over there.
Discipline.
Man. See what he's talking about right there. I like the fact that he's always at 4:20 as well, man. Then we got Matt McKissick. Matt, shout out to you, Matt. We appreciate the support. Deke, if 50 people have to beat you in Madden to get in the upper room, how many people would get in? Ooh.
What's he saying? So if
with 50 cats being here because you're gonna lose all 50 people, is that what he's saying?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Is that what he's asking? So out of 50 people that watch the podcast, they want to get a free upper room membership,
and they had to play you in Madden. How many of them would make it in?
I'd say
he's coming at your skills. That's what it sounds like.
I have bad runs, but I also have good runs. I actually just won the Super Bowl last week. Well, I'd say I'm like 60-65%.
Okay.
That's like my percent range right there. I'd say I'm above average. So whatever that is out of 50, so maybe 20 people get in.
Cuz in the chat,
the question is, do they play Madden though? If they don't play Madden, they're just coming in cold. I could probably win like 90% of the games.
Cuz Reginald says all 50 because Deke is booty in Madden with the crying emoji. That's what he says. And then then let's see what else. Somebody said something about you in this your Madden skills.
Are the teams equal? That's another thing.
That
is teams
another,
equal.
Yeah. Oh, CMF Sonny says I'll whoop Deke in Madden with the double flex. Yeah.
A lot of people are confident in their Madden skills.
I'm seeing that. We're gonna have to see something here, man. I don't know. Because you do put in a lot of work, or at least I feel like when I see your videos, it's a lot of Madden and gaming. So yeah, I feel like you play. I think you play Madden way more than me. Yeah, you definitely way more.
I feel like with this Steelers themed team and the Ultimate Team, I'm always the underdog whenever I'm facing these God squads because they don't have all the Steeler cards boosted up all the way to 99, whereas the teams I'm playing 99 in every position. Like I still have Terrell Edmonds starting. They have a 92 overall version. I still have him out on the field at this point in the game. But I want a Super Bowl still. So like I think there are definite stretches where I'm just god awful. If I'm coming in cold or whatever, I could go on some really bad losing streaks. But I do go on some nice winning streaks, and I feel like I probably win about 60% of my games.
So Matt,
and I'm the underdog. So it might even be 70.
Matt, he not scared of any of y'all. He says, "Run it. We don't care. We've done Madden before. We don't care. We want all the smoke, all of it." Okay, that's what Deke said. Oh man, hey Leonard, man, appreciate you for the hoodie love. Yeah, he said shout out to my Mambasita hoodie, man. Mamba mentality, baby. Try to do a little something, man. Shout out to Kobe and GG, man. RP to them, man. Gotta have that Mamba mentality though, baby. And Ashley Roberts, we appreciate the support. Yes, we do. Means a lot to us. Man, Reginald's really going at you in this.
We got a few people. Someone's saying they're going to make me retire.
Says you are literally poop in Madden, but he still supports the channel. Jeez.
This dude doesn't comment on my chats like this. I haven't seen him unless he's got what's his username on my Twitch streams or on YouTube?
I don't know, man, but
I don't know.
He's really trying your Madden skills right now. Lord, I like it.
That's hilarious.
Man. All right.
We got a few more contributions.
We do. All right, I'm scrolling down to them, but I do see Kenneth Beamer saying this the best podcaster, podcast ever, best podcast with a P-O-T. You hear it, pot, not pot. I was trying to word it right. Like, best podcast ever. So I do like the fact that he's giving you and the group, you know what I'm saying, that type of, that thing. Yeah.
Some people are calling for Madden tourneys in here. Oh, we got this has been something that's been suggested to me as well, and people have been calling for it. Who would win a Madden game between Deke and Moats?
Oh, you give me
this
Madden.
Is from Matt Mixich, both using the same team.
No, you would give me a Madden. I don't play Madden like that.
I think you're better at the reads, though.
Yeah, but I don't play Madden like that. I'm a shooter, man. I play duty. Like,
I was a little surprised that people were getting you whenever we did that thing with the Bills.
I don't play football like that. Not the games, because I think I've told you this before. But like for me, I haven't played Madden like really played Madden since probably my rookie year in the NFL.
Then you kind of stopped.
Yeah, it was just like you get so burnt out of watching film, practicing, and everything is football related that it's hard for me to actually enjoy playing Madden. When I play the game, I feel like I'm working again. I feel like I'm watching more tape. That's why I like Call of Duty, because I get to just bing, headshot. So yeah. But you would give me a Madden though, man.
You think you'd give that? Okay. Yeah. You give that to me. Okay.
Because I respect the effort that you put in. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I could just show up and just get you in Madden, man.
I think you could, dude. I really think you could.
Now you're not making me feel confident about what we were talking about in this chat, though, man. And 50 cats.
I just know how Madden goes, dude. I just do. And I think you could read the defenses pretty good. I think you could read both sides of it.
One day we'll see, man. One day we'll see. But I'm going to walk in saying that you should win this game. That's all. If it was duty, I'm not even debating. I'm feeling like it's not going to be close. Like, I'm going to have way more kills.
Oh, yeah. You'd smoke me in Call of Duty. Because did you play Halo? I've never played Halo. I've never played any of those first
See, for me, man,
ever.
Like, I was always a duty guy. Always. Yeah, man. I just love my duty, bro. Like, you can't go wrong with that, man.
How do you feel? This is so. We're going all over the place. I guess this is the intro, though. How do you feel about?
I guess it's the intro. Yeah.
The Call of Duties, when they drop a new one every year? Do you feel like it's just
every year, but
same game, new title?
It just depends who's making it, because they've switched through the years of who actually designs the game, and you can tell the difference with the designs. In terms of the gameplay, most of the time it's still similar, but it is certain things where you're just like, bro, this is too unrealistic. All right, Modern Warfare, we like this part right here. This is cool. Black Ops, all right, man, I'm flying in space. It's kind of weird. So it just depends on who made it at the time, but I still play them all. It's kind of like Madden. You know what to expect from Madden every year, but
that's what people complain about so much, yeah.
But it's like, as much as we complain, you're still going to go buy it.
I'm getting the new one. Yeah, exactly. They're really hyping this one up, but they hype up
all of them.
Exactly.
And they don't change anything. It is the same. You're
not
like,
too much.
All right, same thing. So it is what it is, man. But let's get, all right, we getting back. We haven't even started yet, actually.
No.
We just moseying through the warm-up line right now, man. Shaking hands, making friends. All right, and let's see what else we have in here. Black and Martyr. Shout out to you, Black and Martyr, as well. We appreciate your support. He says, sup, fellas? Glad you guys are doing a stream today. I'm on call, and it makes it sting a little less. Well, you know what, Black and Martyr? We are glad that we're able to take a little bit of that edge off, man, and just let you kick back for a little bit, in this 4 o'clock hour, where you get that chance to just vibe as we ease on into this. Because at 4 o'clock or 4:20, 4:30, or I think we started at 4:04, we pushed it back a little bit. Mm-hmm. When you start at that time, it's a little chiller. You just cruise into it. But once we get it going, baby. But Black, make sure you're not working too hard, Black and Martyr, all right? That's the big thing. Yes, indeed. Oh, and Rod Dallas says, man, maybe we should come check him out. He plays semi-pro in Ohio Phoenix. I've actually never heard of that before.
Football or video games?
No. I think he's talking semi-pro football, like in real life. I just saw it in the chat. I don't know.
Okay.
Ask Rod. Hey, Rod, man, are you talking about in real life you play? You balling? Or are you talking about the video game? I don't know.
It sounds like a stupid question because 10 years ago you wouldn't ask, is that actual sports or is that video games? But like now esports is a thing.
Esports definitely.
And you probably could be somehow, some way semi-pro in that.
Seriously,
where you're
man.
doing that on the weekends or something.
Hey, you're right. Man, they really coming at you in this chat, Deke. They really want to play you in Madden. Deke. They really out here looking for your Madden smoke, man. They said, Frank K says, Deke, you playing on franchise mode doesn't count. That doesn't count for a win.
No, I play online. Wow. I hate playing offline, actually. I only play other humans, really.
Frank K said he really wants that smoke with you, though, baby.
A lot of people are.
Man, now they trying to see if you on PS5 or you on the Xbox. Deke, you better be ready.
Well, I do have the PS5.
Called, man.
I haven't played the PS5 for this Madden version because it's pretty much shit. The PS4 version is really good, in my opinion, outside of these God Squads that they have. But I think the gameplay was pretty solid this year. So for next one, though, it's going to be PS5 because I'm assuming they're going to be devoting a lot of their time to the PS5. Whereas, like, for Madden, it dropped with the PS4.
Yeah.
PS5 came out in December. So then all of a sudden, they were like, hey, we have a PS5 version.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Some other people, call me Kay in the chat. He says he likes the PS5 version better, but I think a lot more like PS4. That's my guess, though.
Okay. I like that. I can respect that right there, man. Yes, indeed. And K Skills 11, I appreciate the love for the hat. Yes, indeed, man. Gotta, rock my Yankees in the building every once in a while. Oh, and then we got Justin. Justin, shout out to you as well, man. We appreciate that support. He says, I'm thinking we gotta get an Arthur Moats and Deke celebrity golf tournament brought to you by Fifth Ave Sports. Best ideas come on Mars.
Celebrity golf tournament.
Yeah. Wow. I like the best idea comes on Mars. I like that.
Like an outing.
Like that. Could do an outing. You're a golfer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be fun as hell.
I'm getting into golfing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could.
That is a good idea. That is a good idea.
And everybody does do that. That's like normal now. You could do the golf certain. Yeah. You know what? We might have to look into that. Obviously, it can't be this year because I feel like that takes planning. But we definitely need to look into that though.
Sure.
We could definitely, because you golf. And like I said, I'm golf-ish. So yeah.
Yeah, we'd be in the same group.
As long as you're on my team.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We need to build a formidable
scramble
how I feel,
group. Man. You got to be on my team. If you're not on my team, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
If you're on my team, I like it, man. All right. Let's get everything. We back up. I feel like we're back.
Oh, Rod Dollar answered.
Did he answer yet? Okay.
Real life contact football.
Oh. Now this is exciting.
We checking them out.
We might need to.
Road trip.
Hey man, or hold on. Don't you? Where did they put the videos at? I know like Huddle is where like some people upload stuff.
Yeah.
You got any game tape? You got any game action? Can we see where can we check you out at, man? Put it in the comment section, man. We definitely would tune in. Shoot, I'll mess around and give you a breakdown for real.
Dude, people
I was like so serious.
I guarantee you people would love that. I guarantee it.
I'm about to say, hey, that could be a whole new little vibe right there, man.
Dude, honestly, he's playing semi-pro. I'm sure people in college, high school, they send you some stuff. I guarantee it, dude.
Man, don't let me find out you stumbled across something like that now, Deke.
No. I'm just saying.
That's the thing for real?
I think people have done that. No. Here's where people do it. It's like YouTubers.
Okay.
I've seen some like popular YouTubers say like, "Hey, send me in some of your stuff."
Yeah.
Because I think I've seen it before.
Huh.
I never put two and two together until they just said that. I think that'd be a really good idea, though.
But he did say, so you should actually check this out. So Rod Dollar, he says Rodney Mouse Smith. He said that's what it's called on YouTube. Okay. So type in Rodney Mouse Smith on YouTube and see what pulls up, man. But no,
you want me to pull it up now or just pop it in the notes?
Let's put it in the notes. We'll check it out later. Yeah. But no, that's definitely something, man, that we might need to,
That's a really good idea.
It would, man, like I said, I'll definitely do it. Master Most
Look
Film
at these
Session
ideas.
Breaking down Rod Dollars. Breaking down Ashley Roberts, breaking down Jay Sawyer, breaking down Steelers Nation 412 footage. We could do it, man.
Definitely. Look at these ideas that are coming together right now.
That's why you have to get on Mars. All right. We can't start a show without going to visit Mars. We visited Mars. Now we're here. Now y'all are with us in Mars. This is perfect, bro. This, what they call that? Group think tank, all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's what we just did right there, man.
Yeah, everyone's vibing like that right now. Yes, indeed.
And shout out to Asiatic Noble. He also says, or they also say, we got to get them likes popping. Now, I will say this.
I'm going to hit the like button.
The like button is fire right now. What y'all did last episode, though, was special, man. I don't know if you went deep. I don't know if you realized that what they were able to do last. I mean, like, it was crazy. We even told them that, hey, we even put the discount in for all the shirts, right? Everything. Arthur Most Experience with Deke podcast, 20% off all the way up until the 4th of July, right? Promo code Moats. That's all you got to type in because of that. But then, man, I woke up, this probably was yesterday. And I just was like, let me just go back and look, because we always like to do our homework, research and stuff. Man, that thing had like 900 something likes. I said, yo, this is crazy. I don't think we've ever had a video like that before, man.
I don't think.
Y'all, man.
What was our goal, too? Weren't we just saying, like, get it to 550?
550, or no, it was 400, I thought we said, right? Or something around there.
I think that was the range, but to get where it is nuts, right now is crazy.
That was nuts, bro. So, no, big time shout out to each and every one of y'all, man, that did that, man. We don't just appreciate that. The YouTube algorithm people appreciate that more importantly, all right? Let's be real.
And that's who we're trying to get on our good side.
For some reason, we get on their good side. Notifications seem to work a little bit better. Our videos pop up a little bit more easier. So, yeah, I think that's how we do it, baby.
Definitely. Oh, we got Dylan Smith with a contribution. I'm in school to be an athletic trainer. And he just says reference. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Like he wants us to be references for him as an athletic trainer?
Or no, maybe he's asking for a reference. Like who should he look to?
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, this is interesting. You said, oh, I see it now. Here we go. Dylan. All right. Yeah, Dylan, follow up, please. In terms of, are you asking, like, are we a reference for you, or who would we recommend? Or, yeah. Oh, he wants a reference for a job. Yeah, Deke.
I got no connections, man. I'm just a lowlife out here, man.
You're not a lowlife. You just got to tell him, like, yo, I'm the Deke. Just put Big Deke energy, and that's the reference, bro.
Oh, he's putting our names on his resume.
As a reference. Yeah.
Dude, I don't pick up my phone. I mean,
I know I can. I'm the worst.
I wouldn't be a good reference, dude.
I would say I'm the worst. Yeah. They'd be calling me up. Hey, I'm really trying to find out your connection with Dylan Smith and what are your thoughts on him? And that thing would be the person you're trying to reach.
My voicemail box has been full for about like 2 years. Have no desire to change it.
So did you even set your voicemail up? Because I flirted back. I like go through these spurts of I'll have it set up, but because I know I'm not going to answer it, and I just feel like it could be a deterrent to not have it set up, I'll like take my voicemail off and just let it go back to the number you were trying to reach. It's not available right now.
Did you ever put your own voice?
I did every once in a while.
I did maybe one time, and this was coming out of college because this is all they tell you in business school and shit. Like, oh, you gotta make sure you show your own voice, show your personality. Like this is your big time to shine whenever someone's calling you, just in case you don't pick up. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with that type of bullshit anymore. And people telling me that. It's like, no, honestly, it doesn't matter. Don't listen to this bullshit in school. They try to tell you. Work hard, put yourself out there. That's about it.
Make mistakes and get messy.
Sure, that's it, man. So I'm happy to not have my voice on the voicemail box and just actually for it to be full. So now you can't even leave a voicemail. Yeah. If you care that much, text me.
You're lucky.
Or call me back like 10 times.
You're so lucky.
What do you mean?
Because I feel like at least they'll probably stop. Mine to just keep going.
It's probably not wise, actually. The more I'm probably missing out on all these opportunities.
You never know. Probably every once in a while. I can see that. But that's neither here nor there because right now we are here and that is all that matters. So before we get into this first topic though, shout out to Barilla92. We'll read this off before we transition. But he says that his wish list is Justin Houston, Richard Sherman, Malik Hooker. And then he says, in Colbert we trust, or in Colbert he trusts. So Barilla92, we're actually going to be talking about potentially some of these. Potentially. We'll see in a second, though. But no, we're definitely going to dive into those guys, though. And obviously, as the offseason continues to progress and it gets closer to training camp, we definitely going to be trying to figure out, are we making any more moves and who we should be targeting? So definitely keep that. We tabling it, but we coming back to it, though, baby. But without further ado, man, let's get into this first topic, man. So we want to talk about these inside linebackers, right? Because right now we know that they are one of a plethora of positions where it is uncertainty. We don't know. We don't know anything. We don't know the starters. We don't know the full depth. We don't know if they're going to make any more movement in that room. Yeah. We don't even know how confident we are in that group just yet. So it got me wondering, man. I said, you know what? We got to go to the people. We got to go to the people with this because we're going to have this conversation. But I just initially wanted to know just like our thoughts on the inside linebacker spot and who do we think will be the 2 starters. Just that part of it, right? Not even getting into the depth and so forth, but just who do we think, and this is for you guys in the chat as well, who do you guys think will be the opening day starters?
You want me to type it out?
Next year. Yeah, absolutely. You type that thing in there.
I got you.
Because, I be over here trying to,
I know.
When I get to multitasking, it gets a little tough sometimes.
Who do you think will be,
the 2 starting inside linebackers for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Starting inside linebackers.
Hey, man, you got some good typing over there. What's your Guam? Ain't that what they call it in high school? Your Guam? You got good Guam over there, man. Jeez, you're not a one finger typer.
I don't even know if
man.
I'm typing English right now.
You're probably not. You still on Mars. You smiling extra hard too.
Let me read it. Who do you think will be the opening day starting inside linebackers for the Steelers? Okay, that works.
That was so professional. Go ahead and hit the send button, man.
No question mark.
Go ahead and hit the send button,
I need to add the question mark.
We don't need punctuation in it. This is us. We're raw. Although you start using punctuation, now we're gonna start wearing suits and look business professional.
Yeah.
I don't want business professional. I like what we got.
Sure.
We fashion forward. That's 100%. Uptight. We don't want to be uptight. Nah, bump them. All right, did you hit select?
Yeah.
Select.
We're good.
Oh, that is you. I see you now, Deke. You even got a little face. I like it. Because not everybody pops up with a face. It's just a lot of letters.
Yeah,
so this is actually
right.
cool to see your face here. But all right, man. So let's see. Initially, what are the people saying?
51, 55,
seeing,
51. That's not Avery Williamson anymore.
I know. That's
Johnson.
Buddy. Yeah, I'm seeing Bush and Vince from John Doe. Oh, all right. Now, Rod Dollar says Mac Wilson. Okay. Matthew Cortis says Devin Bush, Robert Spillane. I'm seeing Buddy's name come up a good amount, dude.
I get it too. I get it because
a lot of the Bush and Spillane pairings.
If all's equal, or if you think it's going to be close, you kind of just want to go with the young guy with the upside sometimes.
Well, no, that's what Coach Simon says for a fact. Yeah, he says if it's between a young player and a veteran player and it's close performance-wise, he always goes with the younger player. That's his thing, man. Hey,
UG3.
Oh, now he's a sleeper horse right here.
Is he the Jalen Samuels of the inside linebacker
Definitely
group?
Is. Absolutely is. Honestly, I forget that he's in the room until I go to look at the depth, and I'm like, yo, he's still there. But that's because he's been unavailable a good amount, but he's very intriguing right here, man. Devin Bush and Buddy Johnson. I don't think I've seen that pairing. I've seen a lot of Bush and Spillane or Bush and Vince. I haven't seen too much Buddy and Devin though. Shout out to you, Trevor, for that one. Okay. And now Reginald says Bush is starting, obviously, and he says most likely Vince. Okay.
My guess right off the bat, it's probably gonna be split between Vince and Spillane and Devin. That's what I'm guessing.
So who's starting then?
Is there technically?
Yes.
Is there that big of a difference?
Yes. For today, yes.
Okay.
Put a line in the sand, baby.
Because what if Vince is out there on the first snap, but he's playing 30%?
Who's your starting? When I say your starters, you gotta have it, guys. The guys who are gonna play the
opening
majority
day
of the
snap
time.
One.
Yes. Who's your guys? When we say, hey, we are opening up against the Buffalo Bills, who are your starting inside linebackers?
Who do I want? I want Buddy Johnson.
Okay.
I'm with some of the people in the chat.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Spillane, though. I just have that feeling that what he was doing last year before the injury wasn't as much of an outlier as we may think based off his play against Cleveland.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. And it could be a nice little dynamic tandem with Bush. I mean, if you get how Spillane was playing in those, whatever it was, 6, 7, 8 games when Bush was gone, with Bush, that could be pretty lethal.
It definitely could.
Because I don't think they are over top of each other too much either. Because I think Spillane could be that thumper that Vince was, but I think he's a little bit better in pass coverage. Obviously, he's not the thumper that Vince is, but he could at least bring that to the table. Where him and Bush could be kind of nice. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Vince will get time, maybe 20, 30%, but I'm just feeling Spillane for whatever reason.
Okay. And Coolio, shout out to you and we appreciate the support, also shares that sentiment. They also say Bush and Buddy gonna be some dogs. Much love, y'all. We appreciate that. Rod Dollar. It's a lot of Rod Dollar says Vince and Bush. Now for me, I do like the Bush and Buddy Johnson pairing. I think that they would complement
I would love
each
for
other
that
really
just to
well.
happen right off the bat.
My biggest thing is I just don't think Buddy's going to be ready. It's tough. It is very, very tough to come in day one and be the starter. It's tough to do that in the NFL level, man. So that's the only reason why I don't think it'd be him. I honestly, man, even though I would prefer it be Devin and Vince, I feel like it's going to be Spillane and Devin. Similar to what you said, with Vince, he's limited athletically. We know that he's not fast and he's not the best in coverage. But the thing that he brings to the table that none of those guys bring is that physical nature, that smash mouth ability, and his confidence in the defense. And what do I mean by the confidence in the defense? He knows this playbook inside and out. So when you watch him on the field, watch who initiates conversation. Watch who initiates communication. It's Vince. Not Devin, not Spillane. It's Vince. Now watch when Vince is removed from that scenario and see how the communication goes, or the lack thereof at time, and how we also see just the lack of physical nature inside. That's my concern in terms of if we go Spillane. I do think Spillane is the better athlete, and I do think that Spillane plays really well, but that physicalness is definitely missing when you take Vince out that lineup. So that's the part where I just like, I would love if Vince was more athletic, because then you could get that, but he's not. And with the way the NFL is, teams will utilize that against you. Now we're in that unique situation because we know teams want to spread you out because it's more of a passing league now. But in the AFC North, we know that teams want to still run the ball. When you talk about Cleveland, when you talk about Baltimore, definitely they want to run the rock. So when you try to go with just the pure athlete speed combination, you open yourself up for some pretty tough situations from a running game standpoint. And that's the part where I'm just like, I wanted to be Vince, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be Spillane just because, well, I'll tell y'all as well, I got to see some of these pairings.
Whoa, this is the news we wanted. We were kind of afraid to ask. We don't want to get you in trouble.
I did get to see some of these pairings. And these pairings kind of, they kind of coincide with what I just played out there.
Wow, so I made a nice guess.
But I can't say who was 100% there or not, but they did coincide with some of the things that we've been spitballing right now, if y'all can catch my drift. So that's the other part, baby. Yeah.
Now, the stuff that you talk about with Vince, the positives that he would bring to the table, it is important, right?
No, for a fact. I mean, we saw that late in the season, right?
So as if he plays 20 or 30%, is that enough to at least get a little bit of that? But then when you're not on the field, you're just probably not getting that at all then.
That's the thing.
Because he's not giving that to you from the bench.
No question. No, you can't get it from the bench, man. It's one of those things you have to be out there. But this is where you hope that Devin can take that next step, because if Devin can, then he becomes that new vocal leader, the guy to get everybody aligned, the guy to make sure that, hey, whatever we're calling, if we're all right, if we're all wrong, that means we're all right because we're all on the same page. No Vince, you don't get that, because not everybody is taking what Devin says as gospel, right? And what I mean is this. So if it's a 2x2 set, meaning we got 2 receivers on this side, 2 receivers on that side. Okay. Hey, Deke, we're going to be playing cover 4. Deke, if they go from 2x2 to 3x1, we're going to go to cover 3. Guy starts the motion. All right. He's right at the quarterback. This is about midway. How are we playing that, Deke? Are we playing cover 3 or are we playing cover 4? We said if it was 2x2, it was cover 4. We said if it goes to 3x1, we go to 3. But he's in the middle of the field. Ball's about to get snapped. What are we doing? Ball snap.
I was going to say, this communication has to happen right before that.
Yeah, it has to happen like right now. And we have to be on the same page. It can't be what you doing? I'm 3. Oh, 4.
You got to look to one guy to say it.
Exactly. And Vince has been that guy. Vince, even when Shazier was here, Vince was still that guy that, all right, until Shay caught up to it mentally, Vince was that guy. So when you take that away, those are the things that you deal with. And you don't feel them necessarily on first and second down, but possession downs. When it's sub package ball, and now we dealing with strength changes. Now we're dealing with different movements and motions. How are we playing this? What are you thinking? I don't know. Ball snap. Like, it happens just like that. And that's the part where if Devin takes that next step mentally, well, we're good. I feel like, man, he can make up for everything else athletically. But if he doesn't take that puts you in bad situations. And that's the part where I'm just like, no Vince out there with him makes me nervous, because we saw what that looked like at the end of the year when obviously Devin was down, but we saw when you don't have that beacon of communication right there, it gets chaotic and it doesn't look well. It doesn't perform the same way. Guys start playing a little bit more passive. You can't be as aggressive because you're not 100% certain.
So how does he take that next step? Is it simply this, where he's getting paired with Spillane, and it's almost like the Paul George scenario with Kawhi Leonard? Now that he's not out there, it's like, it's all on Paul George. So you got to figure out the way, as opposed to being passive and saying, "Oh, Kawhi, you're the guy." So if Bush is with Spillane, it's like, Bush, you got to do this now.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree, man. That plays a part. The practice reps play a part. The biggest thing that is hurting Devin, and I was actually, because I've been watching film on him from last season, is just the lack of reps. You think about, like, last year was supposed to be that big growth year for him, right? Where you played your rookie season, you go through your bumps and bruises. Now you get that second full year under your belt, and you don't take off early on. I mean, if you're fortunate, great, but most of the time it's more Devin White-like, right? And what does that mean? You're still good throughout the season, but towards the end of that second season,
you're hitting your stride.
And we always say towards the end of the season, if you're a rookie, by the time you get to week 12 and 13, you're not a rookie anymore. You're in your second year because of how long you've played. So typically by the end of that second season, you're the equivalent of a third year veteran because of how much ball you've played. So you've learned and seen a ton. He didn't get that though. And that's the part where you just kind of like, it's hard to expect that to come from just practice reps, because in practice, well, Devin, his OTAs, you're going to go in clips of 4, clips of 6 on minicamp day. And that's just once a week, you know what I mean? And tops. And other than that, you're subbing out. So you don't even get to go through the feeling of being frantic, the feeling of being fatigued, the feeling of being caught out of whack. And that's the part where it's just hard to simulate that. So I anticipate him still having these growing pains early on.
Damn.
But I do think by the mid-season, he'll start to hit that little bit of stride. But that's the part where you really can't make up for that, because you don't get that without being in the stadium.
So we could have a scenario where Vince just keeps finding his way back onto the field.
Without a doubt.
Not necessarily based off Spillane's play, but it may just be more because the communication's jacked up.
Absolutely, bro. And you have to have that hilarious part, man. You have to have that part, bro.
We're trying to get another guy in there. We draft Buddy Johnson. All of a sudden, Vince Williams, week 4, he's playing like 60-70% of the snaps.
But the thing is, you would rather have, and this is coach's mentality, and not just in Pittsburgh, this is pretty much anywhere. You would rather have a guy that's a little bit more limited athletically, but you know he knows what to do, than having a guy that's a great athlete, but mentally is going to have mistakes, because those mistakes in the NFL, that's touchdowns. Those are big plays. You can't have a lot of those. I mean, typically in a game, if we play in this game and it's me and you together, we shouldn't have more than 2 mental errors between the both of us. Like, we should be locked in, and that's 60 plus plays. If you're not getting that, like, that sets you up for failure, because if I make a mistake and I'm in cover, it's a touchdown. If I make a mistake on this run fit, that's a 30-yard, 40-yard gain. These are like explosive field flipping, momentum flipping plays. So it's very significant, man.
And it didn't seem like, you correct me if I'm wrong, Spillane had those lapses.
Correct.
It's just that he doesn't bring the leadership communication for everyone else. So we're basically in a pickle then, right?
Yes.
Because Devin Bush is easily the most talented. Spillane, less limited than Vince. A little bit better in pass coverage, maybe not as good as run stopping, but maybe could be the better complement with Bush. But Vince brings that leadership and a little bit better the run stopping. Yeah. So it's
but Vince also brings the best rushing out of those guys as well, because as much as we talk about these guys in coverage, I personally, watching tape, don't think that any of them are as good in coverage as Vince is as a pass rusher. Meaning, when Vince rushes a running back, it's a 95% chance that he's going to win, meaning he's either going to hit the quarterback or sack the quarterback. None of those guys, Devin Bush included in coverage right now, are winning at a 95% rate right now. As much as we want Devin Bush to be that, I think he can grow into that. But even last year, watching those games,
Noah Fant had his number.
He was not there. So that's the other part where you talk about that pickle. It's like, well, how much are we valuing them in coverage versus him as a rusher? That could change your perspective on possession downs, third downs, and dime package and stuff like that as well, man.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Bro. How many sacks? He had like 8 sacks the one season.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, he I don't think he ever got to 10, but he flirted with it twice, though. He was close 2 times back-to-back years. Mm-hmm.
From the sound of it, then, you want him on the field. Is that it, then? Are we kind of right with saying Spillane maybe 50, 60%, maybe even 70%, and then Vince 30%? Just as we sit right here, right now?
Probably off the top. Or maybe even skew it a little bit where Spillane is out there a little bit more. 65, 70 almost,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And then Vince would be at like 30.
Yeah.
Because those impact plays that we saw early in last season and that you're talking about right now, that's getting me like amped up, like Vince rushing the passer, Vince just blowing up the running back in the backfield. Yeah. We love those. Like those
absolutely we do.
Those are somewhat game-changing type of plays, momentum-shifting plays. So
Yeah.
we don't want to miss out on that completely. Honestly, though, going way back to the beginning, if Buddy Johnson was ready, I mean, that's who I want. I just want Buddy Johnson, Devin Bush. I want to see if those guys can be the future.
Yeah, he's the one. And a lot of people in the chat are very high on him as well in terms of Buddy. The biggest thing is just the stuff that we just highlighted mentally for Buddy. Just imagine now it's not even as simple of, hey, man, all right, if it goes from 2x2 to 3x1, we're going to check to this. When you're talking about a rookie, it's, hey, make sure you're aligned in a 30 technique. Okay, what's the 30? That's over the guard. Okay. Well, what happens if they shift to this? If they shift to 3x1, go to a bird technique, what's that? Oh, now you're in a 50. You're stacking this tight end because, remember, 3x1, we cheat to that. That's what rookies have to worry about.
I'm glad I don't have to worry about this in Madden.
You know what I mean? Like, they can't even worry about what their assignment is. They got to worry about where they're aligned first, because that's going to put them in the correct position to even give them a chance to do the assignment. And that's before we get to a check, a shift, a motion, and that's all pre-snap. What happens when it's post-snap? And they started out 3x1, but this guy runs across the field and that back comes over here and makes it essentially 4 receivers to one side. That's a whole nother set of rules. So as a rookie, a young linebacker, man, your head is spinning. That's when we talked about Devin Bush's rookie year. And it's like, well, he doesn't look as good. He doesn't look as fast. Like, bro, because his head, he's not playing ball. He's just trying not to mess up right now. That's what we talked about with Shazier too. Yeah, absolutely. Same concept, man.
With Buddy, the one thing we talked about when we drafted him is he's almost a combo of Spillane and Vince Williams, because we saw whenever he was rushing the passer and getting in between the tackles, you're like, he reminds you of Vince a little bit. But we thought his covers were pretty solid in college too, to the likes of Spillane. That's why if he was ready, I think it'd be pretty nice to at least see right off the bat. But
it would.
May not be the case this year.
It definitely would. Oh. All right, now Barilla 92. I gotta read it. I'm going with you. It's just funny. So first off, Barilla 92, we appreciate your support as well. He says, and this is what he says: all I'm saying is washed Moats over prime Cassius Marsh. Love the depth at inside linebacker. Outside linebacker depth is scary. Hope Quincy Roche is what Alex Highsmith was last year. I don't even know how to Barilla, I appreciate the kind words towards washed Moats. We're going to leave out Cassius Marsh. We don't take shots at Cassius Marsh. He seems like a fine gentleman. We just don't know him personally, but he seems pretty cool, all right? But in terms of the depth, I do like the depth at inside linebacker. That's the thing. I mean, we got a ton of depth, and we're going to talk about that as well. But that's the conversation, right? Starter versus depth players. And when we talk about the starter element of it, that is definitely where it gets different. But it is kind of, and going back to a Barilla comment here, it is kind of a role reversal though, right? Outside linebacker, I think we're very confident in the starters, not so confident in the depth. And then when you talk about inside linebacker, we're very confident in the depth that we have, not necessarily as confident in the starting combination just yet.
Did we talk about Keith Butler talking about the outside linebackers? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about that.
Where he's not as high on, or he didn't speak highly like we were seeing from these other coaches on Quincy Roche and Cassius Marsh.
Yes.
Which makes you think, why haven't we addressed the position? Unless they're thinking Roche just makes his big jump in training camp. I don't know. Because there's no Marsh is not the answer. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah. For me, honestly, man, it's I just don't see it. I mean, with Cassius, he's been around, but he just I don't know. I just don't feel like he's gonna fit what we're gonna ask him to do in our defense. Maybe in some of these other defenses he's played in, he's been able to be successful. I know he can rush in the right scenario. But in our defense, he's not going to be a rusher. He's not going out there and just rushing the passer. He got to play a run, and that's not what he prefers to do right now.
Oh yeah, the Browns game has, that really turned me off. That really turned me off.
And for me, and like I said, I feel it's weird because like with Cassius, I've seen him when he was in Seattle. Him in Seattle, he fit their scheme. He was a part of their like Leo rush where literally you could be 3-point stance or stand up, but you're just rushing the pass. There's like a 4-3 DN. Think what Myles Garrett does, right? Those type of guys. So he fit what they were trying to do. But here, it's like it's there, you play the run on the way. I mean, you play pass and then you react to the run. Here, you got to play the run. If you're not TJ Watt, if you're not Bud Dupree, if you're not Debo Woodley, like certain players, they get green lights. Cassius don't got that green light here. And I just don't think that that's going to fit. Now with Quincy, he's just young. The same thing we talk about with Buddy is similar to Quincy. The difference is this: for Quincy, it's a little.
They were saying he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. He was supposed to be, right?
Talent wise, yes. Yeah. I mean, Buddy's a 4th round pick, right? Yeah. Talent. We're not questioning his talent in terms of Quincy, but mentally, the same thing we just talked about, right? With Buddy. Okay, if it's 2x2, are you in a 30 technique? Are you in a bird technique? All right, are you cheating over? Are you in a gap? Like, where are you lining at? At outside linebacker, same thing, right? So down in Miami, he's always in a 9 technique. He's always in a 5 technique, meaning you're always outside of whoever it is, or you might have a 6 if it's like a tight goal line situation, right? But here in Pittsburgh, you're going to be in a 6 technique where you're ahead of. You're going to be in a 7 technique where you're slightly inside. You're going to be in a 9 technique where you're outside. Or you might be in a 5. You might be in a ghost 5. You know, so it's different things like that. And it's not just going to be on 3rd down. And it can shift in the play. So you can start out in a 6 technique. I'm in the rush, meaning I'm supposed to rush the quarterback right here, right? Or at least play this C gap. This guy motions over. I need to change to an outside leverage and walk out on this receiver to guard him and tell this D lineman that I'm gone so he knows to bump out because the shift. That's a lot of talking. That's a lot of communication. Yep. And if he doesn't do that, coverage-wise, you're off, and running-wise, you're going to be short. So with Quincy, that's the thing with rookie. It's tough. That's why we made TJ Watt so special. We're like, TJ, the fact that you can comprehend all of this, take it out here, and still make plays, that's crazy, man, as a rookie.
Makes you wonder why we haven't addressed the position yet.
Now you're speaking my language.
I think everyone's thinking that. I mean, we saw the comment earlier. Did we want to either address Hold on.
They got a side topic going on about Cassius Marsh here.
Oh no!
I need to get your opinion on this. I'm staying neutral. I can't get involved because I feel like I'm too biased here. They're doing the comparisons to what we would take over Cassius Marsh. So somebody said they would take their fridge, but then the name Jarvis Jones came up, and it looks like some people are saying Jarvis, and then some people are drawing the line and saying that Jarvis Jones. I need to get from you. Who you taking in this scenario, man?
For next year, like if we needed Jarvis Jones as depth,
who we taking?
I'd take Jarvis Jones as depth for next year for sure.
I will say I appreciate you making that statement. I'll talk off. We'll talk off. It's okay. Because I don't want to do that about a guy, because he still plays. It's not nice.
Yeah, definitely. For the fourth outside linebacker on our team next year, even 3rd, Jarvis Jones. I mean, he started for us.
He started 4 years here, right?
I'm not saying he lived up to the potential. He was probably one of our biggest busts of all time, but
it's because he was a 1st rounder, right?
Yeah.
Totally different conversation.
Yeah, we had this. I remember we had this conversation. Didn't you say he wasn't?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't think he was, where it was like, I think I had him as the biggest bust. Yeah. You didn't. We maybe both had Burns as 2 or 3, something like that. I remember that, but you made your case as to
this
why.
Conversation, but no, it's legitimate though in terms of why Jarvis can't be considered a bust or the biggest bust. When you look at just his statistics in terms of the amount of games he played in, tackles he had, QB hits and things like that, compared to some of the other lack of productivity from first round players. I don't want to put a position on it, but 1st round draft picks here in Pittsburgh. That's all I'm saying. Like, he's not the worst. He's not, honestly, not close. But I don't like this pick on who the bad people
I was actually gonna maybe get your opinion on Jones in a positive light, because didn't you think one of his seasons was kind of like underrated, almost like Bud Dupree that one year where he got 6 sacks? It could have been a little bit more. Because I remember talking to you about this. Yeah. But
we've highlighted it, man.
Yeah, that question is a no-brainer to me. As the 3rd or 4th outside linebacker on this team right now, I'll take Jarvis Jones.
Jarvis was always
in his prime.
Yeah, Jarvis' whole thing, man. It was just it's kind of like the Geico commercial. Oh, you almost had better luck next time. That's Jarvis. I done seen that man miss 10 sacks in a season. Literally beat a guy, hit the quarterback, fall off the quarterback. Quarterback runs, do what he does. No one talks about that because he missed the sack. You make the sack, it's a different conversation. But I'm seeing guys that don't even get close. That's my thing.
You think he was out of the league too quick then? You think he should have got another opportunity?
No, he did. He was in Arizona. He got hurt in Arizona. Yeah, he got hurt in Arizona.
Arizona.
Yeah, he hurt his back in AZ. Then he was Cali. I think he was either gonna go to San Diego because they were still in San Diego before they moved to LA, talking about the Chargers. But after that, yeah, he just decided to retire. Now he's coaching. Just got his degree, man. Shout out to my dog though, man.
It's funny you mentioned the back because that was the one big thing whenever he was coming out. People were worried about, like, is he only going to last 5 or 6 years because of his back? Right now, he's this amazing first-round talent. It looked like we got this steal. Yeah, it's just unfortunate, man.
It is. But that's why we won't be going down this negative memory lane. We keep it positive because I'm seeing people in the chat bring up Mendenhall. He was another one we talked about. We were like, Mendenhall wasn't bad, but because the play, everybody's perception has changed. But it's not that bad, man. It's not that bad.
No, he was... Secretly, if you can remember, you were pumped about the Mendenhall pick.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like, these people in the chat, I'm telling you, because we had Willie Parker at that time, we missed a bruising running back. To get Mendenhall, we were like, okay, yeah, give it a year, give it a year or two, like, because he was a beast at Illinois. He was so good. So you were pumped when we picked Mendenhall, and then when he finally got the opportunity, he didn't live up to it completely. He had really good seasons, though.
Okay.
He did. He was solid for us. Remember, we had the Mendenhall versus Connor.
Absolutely.
He's better than James Conner. He definitely was.
Yeah. See, I'm glad you said that, man. This is why I be needing you around, man, because you're my resident Pittsburgh historian.
I'm telling you,
that's what you got.
I was pumped about that Mendenhall pick. I bet you most people would agree with me.
No, I like that, man.
He didn't live up to it. Like I said, he got hurt, and then you just want a little bit more. Even though he had 3 1,000-yard seasons in a row, I think it was 3 1,000. Maybe one of them was 900, but he was solid. He was really solid. It was the play. The play killed him. I mean,
you can't do it.
Yeah, you can't fumble in the Super Bowl when we're coming back and we're about to score. I mean, you just can't do that.
Certainly, you just can't do. That's one of them. Can't do that one, man. So we talked about the starters a little bit at inside linebacker, right? So now as we get to the depth part of it, right? How are you feeling about the depth? Because that is something that was the other part of this conversation. We said we didn't want to get to the depth portion just yet. I think we kind of settled on we don't really like the combinations at starter, but we got options a little bit, right? Depth-wise, though, how do you feel about that, man? And this for y'all as well in the chat, man. How do y'all feel about the Steelers inside linebacker depth? We liking it? Do we want to make moves in terms of, I mean, there's still options out there, still players available in terms of inside linebacker options. Do you want to go shopping? Bring somebody else in. Let us know. Let us know.
I think we're fine at depth because we're talking about 3 guys that could potentially be the starter or get significant snaps. Someone even brought up UG3, so they think that he might be able to compete for some snaps too. So we're good at depth. Whenever you talk about looking for an inside linebacker, I'm assuming we're signing a guy to potentially be a starter, not for depth, which is the interesting thing then. If we sign someone, are we saying these guys aren't going to cut it?
Well, see, for me, I was under that same approach, but a topic that we got coming up, we saw a big name free agent come here and get signed. And no, we're not going to laugh just yet. We're not going to laugh because we're going to get to that. But we all won the assumption that he was coming in for the right spot. And another guy basically says, and we can't laugh it off like it was some joke of a person. We talked about who the person was. We're going to get into it more. But we do know they are legitimate, right? To an extent, they are legitimate. So they said they were coming in for Dotson. So I'm just over here keeping that same energy, baby. So yeah. Are we talking about bringing a depth guy in, or would we actually be talking about bringing a starter in? I'm not sure. I mean, yeah, you just never know.
I'm not sure either. I just think some of the guys that you would name, though, well, I guess this late in the game, you're taking whatever job you can get. Like if you're Avery Williamson, like I'm thinking,
you would think, right?
Who's the other dude's names? Quan Alexander, KJ
Leighton,
Wright's out there.
Yeah, KJ still, and then Leighton Vander Esch. He's another guy. His name's been popping up a lot.
That'd be like as a trade.
Yeah. Well, I thought they said they were going to release him though.
Oh, really? Is that new?
Oh,
news?
no. Maybe no. They didn't pick up his option. That's what it was. They didn't release. They didn't pick up the option. That's why he became. That's why everybody started talking about being a
right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But just going off of those names though, right? You said Quan Alexander, KJ Wright.
Quan would be the most interesting one to me. He's been hurt, but he's got that high upside.
It depends on what you're looking for. For me, y'all better stop. Matt says get Brandon Jacobs. No, don't get Brandon Jacobs. Stop.
Wait, what? The running back?
Yes. You ever seen he's trying to make a comeback?
No.
As an outside linebacker DN?
No.
Swear. He says that he could be the best edge rusher in the NFL or something like that, bro. Yes, man. Stop that.
I did not hear about this at all.
We are not doing that. Not at all.
Drawing interest.
Yeah, but 3 teams. That's what he said.
Brandon Jacobs' potential defensive comeback is drawing interest.
Yep.
No, what? 38 years old?
You, bro, I can't make this up, man.
Dude, if Tebow's playing tight end, why not?
But that's when he said it. He literally, as soon as Tebow came out, he was like, well, you know what? He inspired me. I'm coming back too. Yeah, I can't make it up, bro. I was like, oh, okay.
Damn, would he be our fourth outside linebacker?
No. Heck no. Stop it. Stop it. Call up Debo before you call him up, man.
Okay, that's fair.
Stop
that's
it, bro.
A fair point.
I would call up Debo before we call him, man.
But this dude wants to come back. We don't know if Debo wants to come back.
Stop it. Stop it. We're not doing this, man. We are not doing it.
You don't want to make this a topic?
No.
A blazing topic on YouTube.
It's a blazing topic on YouTube.
Should the Steelers sign Brandon Jacobs?
The Steelers are one of the 3 teams interested in Brandon Jacobs. I'll just say anonymous source told me this.
There you go.
Stop it, bro. No, we can't have that, man. No. But going back though to the inside linebacker spot, and I saw somebody say Deion Jones. He is not available. I know he's down in Atlanta.
We had our chance last year.
Yeah, we missed that one. That ain't happening. But in terms of KJ, I like KJ as a player. I think that he can definitely get the job done. I just don't think he fits what our scheme is, though, man. He's 4-3 defense guy, right? And what difference is in that 4-3? He's covered up. He doesn't have to deal with taking on these linemen as often, right? More so, you just scrape over top. Him and Bobby Wagner got a nice thing going out there, or at least they used to. In Pittsburgh, it's a little different. In that 3-4, you are not covered up, meaning you're going to have to thump a lot. And I don't necessarily he can do it. He can definitely do it, but it's just not what he excels at. He excels in a coverage role. Like if we were bringing him in to be strictly our 3rd down dime linebacker, like what we talked about with Edmonds potentially doing, or if Malik Hooker came here, we was like, oh yeah, you could flirt around with these guys there. KJ would be the perfect person for that role.
Okay.
I just don't feel like with KJ, he's going to want to just sign on for that role.
Sure.
Because he's been a starter, Pro Bowl. I think he might have, no, he doesn't have an all Pro, but he's a multiple time Pro Bowl, obviously a Super Bowl champ. He's used to being out there. He's used to being Robin, right? Him and Bobby Wagner. So that's the thing. I just don't think that he would want to come here and play in that role, but I don't think he would fit as a starter here playing and
That'd
play out.
That'd be the perfect role for us, but maybe not for him.
Correct.
Okay.
Great for us, though. Great. We would love it.
Now, we talked about Avery Williamson in the past. I think you gave the perspective from his standpoint of does he want to come back? If you're the Steelers, would you sign him right now?
If you're the Steelers, would you bring in Avery? I mean, I'm sure you could, but if it would be more so as the price right. But if you're Avery, we talked about it. It's not necessarily I don't have any other offer. I better go back to Pittsburgh. Nah, because if you're Avery Williamson, you could also say to yourself, I'll just wait till somebody gets hurt week 1, week 2. Somebody always gets hurt, and then I'll go sign right there. So that's the we forget that part of it because obviously as Steeler fans, we feel like, this is the best. If we come offering, everybody's going to want to take it. Not everybody in terms of players look at the team like that because as players, we view it more so as just a job. We don't always get entrenched or get attached like that. I do, but not everybody does, right?
Juju?
So, yeah, Juju as well, yeah. But a lot of guys, they just look at it as, you're just my employer. So I'm going to work here until it doesn't make sense or I don't want to be here. Then after that, I'm going to go elsewhere. Like, I don't feel like I have to come back here and work here. So for Avery, he could have that approach. Not saying that he does, but he could realistically think like that as well. And he's made more than enough money. I mean, we saw the contract he had in New York. He's not hurting for cash. He's played a good amount of ball. So he has earned that right that if he wants to just say, I'll wait until the season hits to sign wherever I want to sign, he could do that too. But if you're Pittsburgh, I just don't think you need to bring him back if you got healthy Spillane, if you have healthy events. I just think that Avery could be the better of those guys with a full offseason. But once again, he's not going to have a full offseason here. He would come in for a training camp here. but that's it. So you're not even going to get the full benefits of him being here, learning it, getting entrenched in it. What we saw from him last year was him learning on the fly, which is not easy to do. And play at a high level. It's not easy to do. And obviously the play reflected that. Sometimes he looked really good. Sometimes he struggled a little bit. But that's the dynamic that you get. So for me, I don't think it would make sense for either party right now.
I'm wondering if that's the strategy for the Steelers then. Yeah. Should we just wait and see? You know, I don't know if it's going to be too late, though. Do we wait till training camp and say,
definitely
like...
dicey, man. Yeah.
Because as the market's going right now, is it looking like any of these dudes are going to be signed right away? Like, could we wait?
Oh, now, I feel like some of them we can. So this is an interesting name right here. Rod Dollar brings up Reuben Foster.
Yeah.
He's a guy, for example, that, he has baggage, he has some off-field stuff, but from my understanding, it has gotten cleared up. That would be intriguing, and you could wait, like how you're talking about potentially waiting to make a move. I think with Reuben, you could get away with that.
Yeah, that's my thing, because who are we signing right now that...
They all got flaws, though, at this stage.
Who are we signing right now that we feel like we could bring in and they would be the starter right off the bat? 80, 90% snaps, 70% snaps. Do we feel like any of these dudes would be that much of an upgrade?
Healthy Reuben Foster, I think he could do that.
Okay.
But the thing is, healthy, and you gotta hope that all the off-field stuff is all the way gone, because he had they were allegations, and they got cleared up somehow, some way. We're not gonna dive too deep into it, but it got worked out. So if that is true, because it has to be true, like the NFL, like the team, they would need to dive into that a little bit more for my comfort personally. But if it is, and he's clean and everything is good, dude, I think that he comes in and he's next to Devin Bush. It's clear, like he'd be that
right
guy.
Off the bat.
Yes, I think he would be that guy.
But it goes back to what I said earlier. You could probably pull that off by waiting then.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. KJ, I think you're gonna have to do, if you were gonna do KJ right, you would need to do him right at the beginning of training camp, because I don't think he's gonna last that long. So yeah. But like I said, I don't think he fits our defense like that.
Yeah, right.
That's the thing. Like, he's long and rangy, but keep him covered up. Like, he's that type of player. He's not a player that you want having to fight on these linemen all the time, man.
We're just in a weird spot then.
We are.
We're in a weird spot because...
Why don't you play inside linebacker, bro?
No.
Use that big Deke energy, man.
No.
Just drop it on
him. We're having Bush coming off this injury where we think he should be a Pro Bowler.
So you could raise him up then.
And we got Vince. We know what we got in
Paul
Vince.
George effect, man.
I'm the Paul George effect.
No, you're the Patrick Beverly. He'll be Paul George. When Paul George looks over and sees Patrick Beverly, he says, I got to score.
What about Reggie Jackson?
Nah, you ain't that nice.
I was going to say, he's become like the best point guard in the league right now.
No question. Yeah, my man look over to you. He's like, yo, I got to get it done. I can't pass to you. Paul George look at Patrick Beverly. You think Paul George going to pass that ball to Patrick Beverly? He look at Patrick and say, Patrick, go stand in the corner till it's the fourth quarter with 3 minutes. I'm going to pass to you, make your 1-3, and we're going to call it a day. That's how Devin going to look at you, man.
I can't make a tackle though, dude.
You could be the irritant. You know how he smack him in the back of the head, right? That's what you've seen Patrick Beverly. You smack him in the back. That'd be you. You just
like jump on the power or something. Throw a bow, throw an elbow.
Now, Monte's 300 also thinks that you would have 10 plus interceptions playing next to Devin too.
Damn,
I'm just throwing it out there, man.
This is too much praise for me.
Yeah, but they like you, man. That's all I'm saying. They like you, man.
Okay, I'll take the compliments. Yeah. I told you. I thought I was more of like practice squad QB.
Chad says
fourth string quarterback.
Chad says that the Steelers should sign you because you're a healthier player. Also,
Then who?
Then pretty much all those guys. They've all missed time for injuries. I don't think you've dealt with it. You had an eye injury, but other than that, you've been pretty solid, man. And even with the eye, you played through it.
I played through it. I probably gave some of my best performances
on the road. Hostile environment, got the job done.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying, man. We got tripping. But yeah, man. This is interesting though. Let me see it. Yeah, because
what do we do? I think we're just all these other positions with the free agents we're talking about. Like we need to make a move. Outside linebacker, safety, corner, whatever it is. Tackles, offensive line. This hasn't been talked about at all.
It hasn't. Mm-mm.
And as much as we're trying to think through this, could we make an improvement? How do we feel about it? I think we just got to stand pat probably for now.
I feel like that is probably going to be the best option, even though I don't like it as much because it makes it uneasy for us. We're just over here waiting. But that probably is going to be the best because if Devin can do it, it settles a ton.
And if Spillane plays like he did last year, I think that'd be a pretty good combo. Yeah. And if Vince could bring that 20 or 30% snaps, what he usually brings to the table, that's not a bad combo. Or unless Buddy Johnson just completely goes off in training camp. Because we could wait on him. That might be a next year thing with Buddy Johnson. And we would love for it to be now,
but for it to be a next year thing. Anytime you get those guys a chance to just learn, get acclimated, makes it a lot easier of a process versus if you're putting them in there and just throwing them out there to the wolves. That's my only thing with that.
Or who knows? Maybe UG3. Like, how do you view him versus Spillane and Vince Williams? Like, does he even have a chance?
Man.
I told you, this is Jalen. This is Jalen Samuels. He's just forgotten.
Has been the biggest thing with UG3, man.
But he's got the talent.
No, that's what I'm like. For a fact, he outside of Devin Bush, he's probably the most gifted athlete in that room. But he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So similar to the DeCastro situation, right? Maybe not to that same extent of it being a lingering thing, but how can I count on you if I don't know if you're going to be available or not? How can I count on you if we're going to go into this game and you might not be able to make it out the first half? Like, those are some of the things that when I think of UG3, I think of just because he hasn't been available. We haven't at least seen full games, plural, from him where we've seen him make plays and stand up and be a big dog in there. We haven't seen that. So it's hard for me to just feel like, all right, yeah, I could roll with UG. Like,
He's got the nickname. Has anyone ever called him UG3? I think this is the first time we're calling him that.
I know in like Steelers media circles, everybody calls him UG3.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know like if that's like his like formal nickname, but everybody,
I like it. He's got the nickname for it though.
Well, you keep saying Ulysses Gilbert III.
Yeah, you don't want to say
heck no, man.
I just remember though, I swear it was our first podcast we were doing that preseason when Devin Bush was a rookie. Whenever he was playing, he was making some impact plays in preseason. You were like, this dude's at least going to make the roster. Like at points, he was, I don't want to say he was looking better than Devin Bush, but like he was. I mean, he was playing more in the second half though. There might have been that reason for it, but he was looking really good in preseason. Yeah.
But the thing that also goes into preseason success versus regular season success. Remember just the brief adjustments I was talking about in the preseason? We don't adjust anything. Every call.
You said it's like 4 plays or something.
Yes, we're going to go into every preseason game with the same 4 calls. We're not going to rotate them. We're not adjusting. We're not game planning anything. I've been in teams where we game plan preseason games like it's a legit Super Bowl. Like, you'll be over here like, yo, we got to check for everything they're going to come out in. But like, coach, there's 90 guys on the roster. I don't even know these guys. They got scout reports. They got all this stuff. In Pittsburgh, they do not care about preseason games in terms of wins and losses. They care about their players just going out and executing a call and seeing if they can make that call work. They don't care if it's the best call. Meaning this, if I see you come out in your small ball, right? You're coming out in a sub package grouping where it's four wide receivers, 1 running back, right? I probably should put in smaller personnel on defense, put a little bit of exotic coverage in there. We'll match up. No. In the preseason, they're going to run base personnel versus that grouping and say, hey, Moats, go play cover 4 quarters coverage, which is essentially man, so you don't have to take the guy vertical. You play this receiver man over here. Hey, inside line, you walk out on the front side, you play that guy man and make the call work. And you're like, bro, what? So it's not a lot of thinking, but if your matchup is bad, you're going to struggle. Now, UG3, great athlete, you thrive in those moments, right? So that's the part where it gets different. Now, when you fast forward to the season, and I'm telling you, no, we're going to check this. If he does this, we're going to check that. But also, if he's standing here 2 inches to the left, we're going to check to this. Oh, but don't forget, if they line up like this, we're going to check that also. And that's his pre-snap. Now his head's spinning. Now he's thinking too much. That's another part where he has to catch up with that, man. It's tough mentally, though, man. It's a lot mentally.
Secretly, another good little competition we got going on inside linebacker.
Well, Derek Sessions, man, he calls it right here. And I appreciate you, Derek, too, man. We appreciate that support. But Derek says, Deke, your baby Spillane. I agree. Put baby Spillane in, bro. Why are we tripping? No, why are we tripping here? Put baby Spillane in, bro. We're going to get the thing done.
You'd get more Brown Spillane if I was out there.
No, man.
Brown's version, yeah.
No. You got the
I
juice.
couldn't keep up with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt out
You
there.
hit hard. You don't have to. Big Deke. You're not little Deke. You're not hitting with the small Deke. You're hitting with the big Deke.
Dude, how about this one? It's a hot topic, actually.
What you got?
I've seen this actually floated around the internet a little bit.
All right, read it.
I didn't know if it was too far-fetched. How do you feel about Chase Winovich as a potential trade?
New England, right? Yeah.
He's from here. From TJ.
Ah. Well.
Do we make trades with the Patriots? I don't think we ever have. I mean, we were surprised about the Ravens deal last year.
Yeah.
Is it something different now that they don't have Brady? Maybe they changed their ways a little bit.
I guess for me, I personally wouldn't, just because I like Alex Highsmith. I like his game. I kind of want to see that develop a little bit more. I think that Chase right now is you can make the case the better player, but I think it's still very close. And if it's close, I'd rather go with the guy that I picked because it's like I wanted him, right? So that's kind of like my thought process. But this could be a scenario similar to when we drafted Edmonds. We didn't draft Edmonds because we wanted him the most. We drafted Edmonds because the two safeties that they had rated ahead of him were already gone. So if, the GM, Kevin Colbert, he's like, man, we really loved Chase, but because Chase was taken in the second round, we had to settle on Highsmith. Now we got a chance to get Chase. Different scenario right there.
I don't know if why is he randomly available is the question.
I don't know. But in New England, I think they got, let's see, because Gilmore's available right now up there.
He was a rookie last year. Like, this is why I don't get why it makes sense.
But no. I thought he got into the doghouse up there as well last year because he was playing a lot more early on. Then towards the back end, he definitely wasn't. And
Malcolm Butler type of stuff.
Yeah, but New England, they still wouldn't like come out and just say like what it was. But it was something going on behind closed doors with him. Not like a negative like story, but just not on the same page with everybody in the organization.
Yeah, so
from what I was seeing.
Chase Winovich is staying local for summer after missing spring practices.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that means maybe he's in Pittsburgh. Yeah. I'm just not. I don't know where this rumor came from, to be honest with you.
What do you mean in terms of trading form?
I'm just trying to see like trade rumors.
The reason why when you talk about a guy, was he at OTAs for them? That's the other question. Because if he wasn't, then that's typically how that stuff starts.
Okay. Well, that was the thing that just came up.
Yeah.
Chase Winovich has stayed local. This is a Steeler website. Chase Winovich trade talks begin to surface once again. I don't know. I mean, are they thinking we bring him in to be the starter as the third guy? Because I know you just said it. If you're picking between, you'd just rather roll with Highsmith.
Yeah, if you're bringing Chase in, you're bringing him to play opposite TJ. I don't really think that you would have him and Alex compete. I feel like they're too similar. Not saying they're the same player, but it's just like they're both like in the same part of their careers right now. A lot of uncertainty around both of them. You can be high on them, but yeah, I just think that would be more of a like lateral move to make that trade.
Okay, yeah. I'm reading why it makes sense. They broke the bank for a pair of pass rushers, Matt Judon, and then they brought back Kyle Van Noy.
Okay.
And then they drafted Josh Uche. Kyle Van Noy is
older though. Yeah.
They drafted Josh Uche this year. Yeah. So all of a sudden now you have 4 guys who are pretty solid. And if you're feeling higher on Uche than you are than Winovich, and then if you combine with that he was maybe in the doghouse late last season, maybe that's why it makes sense.
Yeah, I could see that, but that's I mean, like I said, I just don't see if we didn't have Highsmith here, if this was TJ and Cassius Marshall, if this was TJ and Quincy.
Maybe if it was an older dude. What if we didn't have Highsmith, we had Bud, right. You bring him in as a depth as the third guy.
I mean, but you could never have enough good players, but at the same time, for the resource that we would probably give up, it wouldn't be nothing crazy. But I was like, if we're gonna do anything, like, why not do something that we know we actually need? Like O-line help, maybe we could look into that a little bit more. If you want to even go secondary, still corner, we still got others.
But you could address. You don't even have to trade for Winovich. Yeah. You could bring in Justin Houston or Melvin Ingram right now for like $3 million on a 1-year deal. And you can get that same.
I mean, you'll get more productivity from a pass rusher, or excuse me, from a rushing the passer perspective. But either way, like, I just don't think we need that move. It's crazy as it sounds, right? Like, because we would have to give up something to get it. If he was a free agent, different.
Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying about Stephon Gilmore or Xavier Howard.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you do it, but do you though? Just because of what you have to give up, all of a sudden now we got to give them contract extensions with where we're at as a team, with all the cap space we're going to have next year. Does it make sense as a fit? I think that could be the same scenario here. Now, you mentioned with Winovich, bringing him in, you know, him and Highsmith are close enough. You'd rather stick with Highsmith. If we're bringing in Ingram or Houston, how's that scenario playing out? Is Houston the third guy? I feel like either one of them could probably still start.
I mean, Justin just started 16 games. I feel like he's slowing down, but he still was out there for 16 of them.
That's what I mean. Is signing them a similar scenario as us bringing in Winovich? Maybe that's why we haven't done it yet.
Yeah, well, put it like you can make the case for that also, just because with those type of guys, you could say, hey, they're going to be the starters opposite TJ. Alex, you're staying your third role. But you also could say, well, Alex, we want you to be the starter. We want you to play base downs. But when it's third down, if it's a passing situation, we're subbing in Justin Houston. We're going to sub in this guy. Now, that gets a little dicey because as outside linebackers,
sure,
we don't really care about first and second down. Third down is their premium down because they don't
give me the shit place. Yeah, right, I'll sign up for
listen, this. You could have 100 tackles as outside linebacker. Nobody cares about how many tackles you have. Nobody cares about how good you play against the run. You can't play bad against the run, but nobody cares how good you play against the run. They care about your sacks. And prime example is Bud Dupree. Nobody cared about Bud Dupree when he was just great against the run. He's always been really good against the run. People said he was the worst draft pick. He was a bust his first 2 years because why? He didn't get sacks. He started getting sacks, and all of a sudden, hey, man, Bud Dupree, the best dude out here, got nicely paid. But he always could play the run. So, yeah, if you Alex Highsmith, I don't think you necessarily going to sign up for that either. In turn, oh, yeah, man, we'll break him in, let him get the pass rush plays, and I got to play the... No, I've seen that dynamic played out.
Hurt my contract value in the future,
dude,
too.
All I'm saying is I was here. I've seen guys in contract years and you got the veteran and it's like, oh, Debo gets pass rush downs and you're sitting here like, whoa, I see that dude don't like that too much. Oh, yeah, okay, all right. You be sitting here like, well, you know what? We just gonna never get in a pass rush situation. How about that?
Hey. Contract negotiations.
Hey, what?
Hey, where are your sack numbers at?
Seriously, man, you were great against the run. You were awesome in your role. Yeah,
unfortunately, we can't pay you this due to your low sack numbers.
But you know, just when we look at these other pass rushers and what they get paid, you know, you just not your numbers don't add up. But what about these run numbers, coach? You said I was great against the run, man. You put me in. You got a special package for me to come in on run plays. We won't pay for that though. So yeah, man. If you're Alex Highsmith, baby, nah, buddy. Don't you sign for that.
Wow. So that could be a reason we haven't signed anyone yet. If they're saying Highsmith, you're our guy.
Yeah.
You making that move wouldn't really indicate that. You'd be like, hey, no, we're looking this way, we're looking that way, just in case you're not the guy.
Yeah.
But we need depth. I don't care. Like, we need to bring in someone.
You can
I don't know who it is.
In-depth guys. It's just when it's guys like Justin Houston who've been so successful.
Successful last year too.
It's hard to tell that guy, number one, that he's going to come in and be a backup. But then number two, if you're the guy playing in front of him and you're not established, i.e. Alex Highsmith, right? Think about every time you play in a game and you don't have a sack. It happens. It happens more than not.
All of a sudden, the reporters, time to bench Highsmith.
Think about that game you play where you just happen to have a bad matchup against this left tackle and you might not get a pressure or a QB hit. And Justin Houston's on the sideline. Just if you're Alex Highsmith, that's what you're not gonna just play carefree, hair down and be you. You're gonna be playing to not get benched. You're gonna be playing to not have that guy come in and sub in for you. I've experienced that as well. It's not cool. I mean, some guys you could thrive in it, but it is a very stressful situation because you feel like you have to be perfect all the time. And that's just not realistic. You're never going to play your best when you're trying to not mess up, when you're trying to do every single thing perfect. So that's the thing. Alex, like, that's tough. And he's so young. It's not like he's built up 3-4 years of this thing. Like this year too.
That's what I was gonna say. If you think Highsmith and Watt could be a long-term tandem, you got to pick your spots with that type of stuff. What do we got in the comments here?
Shout out to Reality Sucks right here. Reality Sucks says, I called in sick at work so I can tune in today. Hashtag Big Deke Energy. Reality Sucks. That for a fact is Big Deke Energy, baby. And we appreciate you.
That's what you got to do,
man. Yes, we do. And Chad also says that Justin would definitely take that spot if he were to come here. Yeah, that's... Justin's nice, dude. Justin, he can still get it done. He can definitely still get it done, man.
Yeah, I'm not seeing too much else in the crazy chat. Just got some side combos going on here. But yeah,
I like it there, man.
Is that all we got for this? This was what the inside linebacker topic.
That was, absolutely.
Probably took it on like 2, 3, 4 different like side topics with it. That was fun.
That's what we're supposed to do, it, man.
That was perfect. Yeah, exactly,
absolutely, man. Here we are.
We covered it.
Yep. So now go to the next thing, man. This is the spiciest of spices today, baby. Got to talk about your boy 6ix9ine, Mr. Dotson, aka Freaky Deke's inspiration, aka Big Deke Energy originator, aka Mr. Ooey Gooey. I like it, man. Let's get it. Yeah, man. So we had some interesting reports that came out. This was actually, I was kind of in and out, man. I was traveling a little bit, and I missed the initial. You hooked me up with it, right?
I know, it's hilarious because as this stuff was happening, I think it was on a Monday. Was it Monday? Or I think it was Monday. As all this stuff was happening, I'm like, Moats is like traveling and stuff. He's not seeing this at all. All it was a little report that was on YouTube.
Yeah, man. With
DK Pittsburgh Sports saying that the coaches are a little bit mad at Dotson. They think that he came into the offseason programs out of shape or like has not done anything in the offseason, hasn't put any work in. And then also the juiciest piece of the story, which is crazy. Like after the fact, it's like, wow, why do we want to hear this? But at the same time, this is the thing that everyone's like drawn to. It's like, whoa, what about this drama? That Trey Turner was supposedly brought in as competition for Dotson.
Say it ain't so. What? Say it ain't so.
Not for DeCastro.
Oh, Lord. So you mean to tell me when they brought in Trey Turner while DeCastro was still here, they weren't fully ready to make the move from DeCastro? They was eyeing Dotson?
It's tough to believe. Dude, that's so hard to believe. As soon as we released DeCastro, we signed Turner.
That's all I'm saying.
Both on the right side.
That's all I'm saying.
But those were the reports.
Seen Trey on the left. I don't remember seeing him on the left. I watched a lot of his tapes, looked up the stuff. I didn't see any left. Interesting.
But everyone was going crazy about this news because Dotson has posted videos to Instagram.
Yeah.
He's had his trainer post videos of him training hard in the offseason. He's talked about working on the left side because remember when we interviewed him, he said he's only played right guard. Right guard. He's preferred right guard throughout his career, but now we need him at left guard.
Yeah.
So he's been working on that. And just from even the pictures, dude, like he looks pretty jacked this offseason. So that's why it was like one, why this story like this? Yeah. This doesn't do anything for us. We're like a month out of training camp, and then 2, we hadn't heard Dawson's response. That was the thing. So everyone was speculating. Like, this is a reputable reporter.
No, sir. Like I said, I didn't see it initially because I was traveling. But when you told me it was from DK, and I'm like DK Sports, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, no, he's legit. Like, I like that little group they got going on, man. They got a nice little vibe. They are on the scene. They're part of that group of. All right, they're respectable. We listen to them a little bit, but man,
so
it's interesting though.
It's crazy because like it's so funny on this day. All this stuff happens like in the morning. We don't hear from Dotson, then all of a sudden Dotson responds in the afternoon. So what I was thinking from the initial report, my stance was like, I'm siding with Dotson. I don't really care if he's out of shape, this or that, because maybe he's just not out of shape. Maybe the story's BS. But even if he is out of shape, why does this matter right now? He could easily get himself in shape for training camp. Who the hell else is going to be our starting left guard for this team? Like, he was arguably maybe the best guy for our squad last year for the snaps that he played. Anyway, I was waiting to hear from Dotson. Then all of a sudden, the GOAT responds.
What did he say?
His Twitter says it all. He retweets a lot of people that he's associated with. So one of them is Jeff Schwartz. I don't know what connection he has with Dotson. I just know he's on ESPN.
Jeff, yeah.
But he goes and says this story is this horse shit? It looks like a pig emoji too. What is it? Bullshit? I think it's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
He said this story is bullshit. Got a dude from SI, Nick Faribault, says take it from someone who saw him live. Kevin Dotson's not out of shape. So Dotson's retweeting all this stuff. Dotson also responds to someone that comments. I'm sorry if I'm getting too confusing with all this. Because you drop your football stuff.
Absolutely.
I don't want to like lose you here with all these responses and reactions and comments. Dotson says, y'all ask him y'allself. People I train and train with know I work. A couple laughing emojis. And then someone responds to that. I'd walk in and have a chat with my coaches. It's their job to tell you, not the media.
True.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Dotson says coaches didn't say it. So this is even getting juicier. He has a few people that have trained with him. I think this is, I forget what his name is, but he's at Big Ticket 73. I think he's on the Jets. Mekhi Becton. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
He further agrees with Dotson, retweeting some of Dotson's stuff. Keith Ismail retweets some of Dotson's stuff. We see videos of Dotson training from his trainer getting retweeted. Even Zach Banner chimes in and is kind of laughing about the scenario, backing up Dotson. So that's what happened. That's what happened. So the final verdict after Dotson responding is like, all right, this story's BS. We just don't even care. This all happened within a span of like 6-7 hours.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Interesting though. Man.
There's so much to it. But then at the same time, it goes back to what I was saying. Does any of this matter? Like,
I mean, technically, yeah. If he's supposed to be our starter and he's supposed to be the best guy that we have, if he did show up and he was out of shape, how would you feel?
What I mean is, when it's week 1 or 2, like Dawson, he's just gonna be the starter no matter what.
But see, I don't think that's necessarily the case, though.
Oof.
I don't. Out of shape, Dotson, you would put BJ Finney or JC Hassenauer. That's what I'm saying.
But I think that's what Dotson was getting at, though, with all these retweets, saying like, I am working hard. I'm not out of shape. My coaches haven't said this.
That is, but I wonder who the source is now, because that sounds like
there could be so many layers to this. Because is someone feeding the false information on purpose?
Right. Well, because I think of it a couple ways, right? First, we can address DK in where he could have got the information from. Then we can address what NFL shape is, because working out versus being in shape, it is a difference.
You've said that was one of the questions I was going to bring up.
Big difference, though.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing, and where you want to start? You want to start with DK first, or you want to start with the?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm a fly on the wall, man. I'm so open to hearing anything about this.
I guess for me, I do think that DK did hear it from someone. Like, I know DK. I respect.
He said he was
work.
A fan of Dodson, even. Like, he was a big fan of him last year.
Yeah, like I said, I respect DK's work. DK isn't gonna like. It's certain people in media, they will create a story for the sake of creating a story. We know them. DK, though, I haven't had that experience with him. So if DK said it, he probably did hear it somewhere else. Now, we can't confirm who that source was, but he definitely heard it from someone that he trusted enough to put his name on it, because that's the thing, right? It doesn't benefit DK to necessarily make it up all the way, because you'll get the clicks this time.
People were shitting on him.
Right, but that's the thing, because after this, they don't respect you anymore. So you have to make them at least feel like you're legitimate or something about it. So that's the part where for DK, I'm just like, I don't think that he was necessarily telling something that was fabricated. I think that's just the information that he got, and now he has to be on the receiving end of it because the source is anonymous, and that's just how it goes in the business. So it sucks, but he could be telling the truth in terms of what he saw. But in terms of Dotson, right, in shape versus out of shape, I tell you all the time, I never care about guys posting workout videos. I don't care about a trainer posting a workout video.
I thought about when they were posting.
Yeah, I'm like, you can post every workout video you want, because how long is a workout video when it's posted on social media? 30 seconds, 2 minutes. Oh, it's a long video, 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes. Just think about if you're really working out, how long you think that workout has to be? Not 4 minutes long. So just understanding, like, for me, like, I've seen guys literally go in, work out for the video portion of it, and then walk out when the camera went off. I've seen it. And people swore up and down, this guy's in the best shape of his life. This guy, man, I'm ready to go to war with this guy. He's built like they said the man was built like a Spartan, like a 300 Spartan, I've heard. And then you show up in training camp and you're like, oh, them show muscles, they don't really do anything. They look good. They're good for show, but they don't do anything for you. And you whoop them dudes and you work them over. And from then on, I was like, yeah, you can post every workout video you want. And that's why for me, I would never post it. Because I'm like, yeah, give me the perception that I'm not working out. Because I know what I'm doing over here. I don't need people to vouch for it. And that was so that's why like when I see like that, I'm just like, that's not going to make me feel, oh, I really believe Dotson. For me, the reason why I don't feel like Dotson is out of shape is because of what I was able to see. That's the difference. Along with Dotson, hey, man. You have a new coach, Adrian Clem. You really think if Adrian Clem wanted it, if he thought you weren't in shape, he would just let that slide in his first year as the guy? Heck no, because he knows you're too valuable. He knows he needs you to be going. So if anything, it would be the reverse. If anything, if he was really out of shape, we would have known about this, I feel like, a lot sooner. And it would have came from Clem directly. Like, I feel like that's not something, and not even saying necessarily that we would have had to hurt it, because I do think that he would have came out and said that. But also, I think that Dotson would have acknowledged it as well. As players, you know when it ain't up to snuff. You don't have an issue communicating that, but you also go and fix it. So for me, like, I don't think that Dotson is out of shape, but at the same time, the videos, they don't really make me feel like he's in shape either. But just from what I've seen, he didn't look out of shape. But it is a big difference between football shape and workout shape.
I get what you're saying. So you thought he was fine football-wise?
Yes, I thought he looked fine. But like, I work out, right? I'm in shape. I personally say I look great, man. In fact, I weigh.
You were getting those compliments.
Yeah, I mean, I weigh probably right at my playing weight, maybe a little bit less. I'm not in football shape though. Me going on playing 60 snaps? Nah, I'm not in shape for that. I'm in shape to go to the beach. I'm in shape for this. But that's different. But I could post a workout and you'll be over here like, yo, this dude ready for war.
You might need to do that. You should have pulled the Debo last year.
But that's my thing with it, man. I'm just like, man, he'll be good.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. I don't think there's anything else really to the story. That
I feel like he's straight,
Dotson's
man.
the guy. I mean, the Trey Turner part of it came out after we signed him.
That is so weird.
Once we released the cash, so it's like, what's the point in this now?
And especially them saying that he was for him. I just don't. Trey's a right guard. He's not a left guard. Yeah, I just don't see why you would do that.
No, because he's only played right guard.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see why you would have even done that.
And he's not, and this goes back to what we were saying with Trey Turner. Like, he's not looking to be a depth piece or just like competing.
Exactly.
Especially for left guard.
Yeah, bro. It makes zero sense, man.
That's why the report was just so random. But the day was hilarious with all of it.
It's crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
But somebody did ask, though. They were saying, is anyone in football shape in July? It was just up here, just like popped up out the screen. But honestly, man, in terms of football shape, right? Technically, you're never in game shape until you play in games. But during July, as a professional athlete, if you're not in shape by July, you are not going to be in shape by the season. Trying to get in shape in a month's time for an NFL season is too late. Honestly, it's way too late. Like, this is why you typically, if the season ends in January, February, you take a month off tops, but you're back at it March at the absolute latest to start getting your body back going, because once OTAs hit, you don't get enough reps to play yourself into shape. Training, it's not like, 20 years ago where OTAs were a lot longer, training camp was a lot longer. They are slimming it, right? 4 weeks here, 4 weeks training camp.
Extra regular season game.
Absolutely. We talked about it. It's the opposite. So if you're not in shape by the time you get here for OTAs, yeah, bro, your program is already behind the 8-ball. And then when you get to training camp, if you're trying to play yourself into shape over a 3-week training camp period where you're only able to practice 4 days on, mandatory 1 day off, can't have this many padded practices, it's not happening. They can't even make the people work out too much in terms of like the amount of time that you are allowed to be doing football or workouts. It's not enough time in the day for a guy to come in and play himself into shape. So yes, you would hope these guys are in shape by now. Otherwise, it's really, really bad.
We got some big time contributions.
We do. Let's get to these contributors.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. All right, so who we got first? What's it? Little Vado. Shout out to Little Vado. Ooh, shout out to Little Vado, man. We greatly appreciate your love and support, Little Vado. He says, Moats, Deke, it's my birthday tomorrow, the big 2-6 L Bell year. I hear you. I got tickets for Steelers versus Ravens game. I hope I see y'all there. Great B-Day gift to buy these tickets. Man,
shout out.
Vado,
happy
shout
birthday.
out to you. Yes, indeed. Happy 26th birthday, man. Hope you live it up. In fact, because I'm off tomorrow. Once I get off the radio, I'm going to turn up for you too, baby. All right? I'm going to go find me something to enjoy, to uplift my spirits. I might even visit Mars with Deke. But just for you, Little Vado, all right? So happy early birthday on that, man. That's dope. And in terms of the Steelers and Ravens game, we are definitely trying to make all these happen. We just got some little things going on behind the scenes that we need to get cleared up real quick. As soon as that happens, then we can get more information out to everybody, and then our schedule will be out there, and then we all can make this thing work.
Yeah.
But we just got to wait right now. So, yeah.
This then one's funny.
Let's go UW. And, oh, man, I think the dude, oh, gosh. Because I asked what UW was. I think it was Washington.
Washington or Wisconsin?
Yeah, it wasn't Wisconsin. I think it was Washington.
Okay.
I think that's what, cause I think I said Wisconsin. I think we both said Wisconsin, and he said it was Washington.
Okay.
So, yeah. But, it says DK must have the same source as Mark Madden did about TJ. Oh, hey.
Didn't we say the same thing about that though? It's like, I don't think Mark Madden's randomly making it up. But then there's a miscommunication. Like, what the hell is going on? I mean, it's a funny comment. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. That is funny though, man.
Wow. Oh, we got some more comments, man. Oh, Wyoming.
Oh, that's what. Okay, Wyoming. All right. Well, shout out to
University of Wyoming. That's your. Is that your boy, right? Josh Allen, right?
Yeah, Josh from there. Yeah, because I was just with another person like before we came in here. It was from the University of Wyoming. I was like, "That's how do you know this? He's not my boy, but how do you know him?" That's crazy. That's whoa. All right. And Donald Copeland, greetings from Mars, baby. Hey, don't you leave us there now. All right, we coming. We're gonna visit you in a little bit.
Someone's bringing up Casey Hampton about being out of shape.
Well, Hamp is different too. Hamp, from what I heard from Hamp, because I didn't get a chance to share the locker room with Hamp, but from what I heard with Hamp, and I think he told me this directly. We was on one of them Steeler cruises. He said, "Man, my job isn't to come in here and run 40 yards downfield. My job isn't to win any race. My job is to keep these two guys behind me clean." He was like, "I come in here, I stuff the run, I keep them clean." And he was like, "That's what I get paid to do." So yeah, he went. In fact, I think he was the only guy that they said wouldn't even have to take the conditioning test. They would have just Hamp, yo, you
that's
good?
Goated.
Because it's Hamp. I mean, you know, man.
He's
Hamp
a stud, dude.
But that's what he does. You watch the tape when Hamp played. Yeah, it's different.
That's legendary.
It's different, bro. Yeah,
that's.
But legendary. He had a great point though. But if you're playing it to his level, you can get away with that.
Yeah, he's 5-6 time Pro Bowl.
Because the only other guy that I saw not have to take the test was Debo. Debo wouldn't take it either.
Okay.
But Debo was older. This is after he retired and came back. You know, yeah, it was like, Debo don't have to run that. But Debo also isn't trying to race anybody. He gonna just drop this here rip, and he gonna break your arm, and he gonna sack the quarterback, and that's what he gonna do. He gonna give you this mean face.
Dude, you run that pick back in the Super Bowl like that, you don't have to take another conditioning test.
Hey man, you do what you want to do, man.
I mean,
Debo, baby.
It was incredible. We got another comment though.
All right, where we at? Matt McKissick. Shout out to you, Matt.
What do you think about the helmet/jersey rule?
I low-key like it.
I do too. Yeah. I'd love to see those yellow helmets back.
For me, man, this as soon as I saw it, reminded me of my rookie year because that was the last time we could wear multiple helmets. So I was still in Buffalo, obviously, but I still have like that throwback, the old school helmet. Like we had just like
red.
We had 3 separate helmets. We had a red one, we had a white one where we'd have the red Buffalo on, and then we switched to a all white with a different color. But I think we had like 3 or 4 helmet combinations that we used, and it was dope. And I remember seeing the Steelers when they would have the yellow one. Like everybody had these different like one-offs. Like I loved it, and I know they switched it for player health and safety. But we said that was more perception versus reality.
Why did they switch it then?
No, that's what they said. Player health and safety. Because remember the concussion initiative was coming a big deal. And they was like, oh, we need to make sure your helmets are tested and certified. And that is why you can't have 2 helmets. You got to just have one helmet.
Why not get the second ones tested and certified too? Is that just too much to ask? Is that it?
Perception versus reality.
Okay.
That makes too much sense. No, we'll just say we're going to only wear one helmet because it's safer this way for the concussion initiative. And you're sitting here like, oh, well, why wasn't this a part of that? Oh, why wasn't that a part of that? What about this?
Because from the sound of it, you guys actually really like that type of stuff.
No, we love that type of stuff. Absolutely.
It's not like, oh, we're making this rule. They don't even care about it anyway.
Love that type of stuff, man.
Is it a lock that we're just bringing the yellow helmets back?
I don't know. I think that was just what they brought it because what other helmet have y'all worn here?
That's it.
Yeah, so I think that's why. Whereas, like, I know in Buffalo, like, they got multiple styles that they could be bringing up. So I don't. Yeah.
They had. Hold on, let me see this. Wasn't it in 94, 96? They were borderline Bumblebee jerseys, but the stripes were going almost diagonally to make like a diamond.
Those, yeah.
I don't know.
Because they kind of like Chicago.
Let me see what helmet they had for that. It looks like it's just an all black helmet.
Gotcha.
So
they almost kind of remind me of like NFL Europe style a little bit too.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's just. Is that brown? It looks all black, so technically, I guess you could use the same helmet for that if you want to rock the Bumblebees.
Just take the logo off, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what the Packers got away with by wearing their throwbacks, apparently.
Yeah.
I would love to see the yellow ones.
Yeah.
I would love to see the yellow ones. That means, I don't know, does that mean we throw those over the Keller Rush? It has to be with those white pants, though. It has to be.
Nah, I don't know. They're going to do it like... Yeah, but I don't mix, like, you can't mix a throwback with the Color Rush. That's like fashion forward versus old fashioned.
Well, because the Color Rush jerseys are basically the same jerseys, but they rock the white pants.
The Color Rush is fashion forward. It's Color Rush for a reason. We can't be just mixing matching that, man. You keep the old stuff with the old stuff, man.
Well, they should just bring back the old ones then.
Yeah, do that then, but still keep the Color Rush as the Color Rush.
Oh, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
Don't be.
That's what I was just questioning. I agree with you. It wouldn't make sense.
Don't mess up a good thing. That Color Rush is perfect, baby.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
I love that.
Dude, we could. I mean, think of the combos. That. We should just go all out, honestly. Next season.
Oh, we're hitting with all gold.
Bring the Bumblebees back.
Gotta have the Bumblebees.
Bring these ones with the yellow helmets. Give us 2 games with that because it's been a while.
Can we get an all white too?
Those would be badass.
White out.
I've seen some mock-ups of it. It looks pretty good. We used to do it back in the 60s.
I'm a white out guy. I like all white.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Bumblebees, the yellow helmet alternates with the white pants, the black jerseys.
Okay.
Could we do a 70s with the block letter or the block numbers? We could do that.
I'm not gonna lie. Only
and then
Pittsburgh
2 Keller Rushes.
Have I ever heard about block numbers being so significant?
Oh,
like I've heard a lot of people bring up block numbers. I was like, I've never thought about the style of number.
We might need to switch to that full time. Honestly,
like what?
Yeah.
Why are block numbers so important? I don't understand it, man.
Because those were our jerseys all the way up until I think maybe 2000 or 2001.
Okay.
Like all the way from I think till the franchise started. So like the 70s, you're all associated with those block numbers.
Got you.
80s, 90s, and then we switched in the 2000s. Maybe when we went to Hines. So the numbers that we have right now is basically the Ben era.
Okay.
Every other year or era in Steelers history has been the block numbers. That's why people got an affinity for it.
Okay. That makes sense then.
It's that classic look.
I like that right there. All right, so we're going to get to some more of these comments on the jerseys, but I'm going to read this first one while you start looking at them jersey ones real quick. But Michael Patrick McCracken, we appreciate you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. He says, I'm excited for the season. I was last year to Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
Nice.
Shout out to you, man, in New Mexico. Man, I wish it was close to New Mexico where we're playing. Maybe Cali?
Yeah.
That's probably closest.
That's probably closest.
Yeah, because
I think the next one is Minnesota or KC.
Yeah. Dang, man. But either we hope you pull up on one of these games, and we're gonna need to bump into you, baby. Yes, indeed.
So we got in terms of the jerseys. Sounds like the NFL is lazy from Call Me K.
It's true.
Manuel Molina says it's all about the money. Yellow helmets were so clean, also from Manuel Molina.
Yellow helmets would be fire.
See what else we got. Yeah, yellow helmets were fired from South Florida Steel.
Now, Little Votto, we appreciate you as well. Little Votto says yellow helmets or the matte black helmet for next year.
Matte black? We've never had that.
I know. Would you be down for a matte black?
Would we have our logo on it then? I can't envision it. Yeah, I can't envision the helmet with the logo on it. So it would have to be we could probably roll with the all black helmet with Bumblebees or like these 94 retros or whatever the hell these were. Because you see him.
Do it too. Yeah, I'm looking. I can see it.
Color Rush, just all black helmet.
Do the color. Oh, murder black.
I think here's what you'd have to do: the matte helmet, but then you'd have to have the logo just as yellow. Like you would have to outline it. You know what I mean? Outline the circle. That's just yellow, and then all the diamonds are just like gold too.
You got.
I think that's what it would have to be.
John Doe says he likes the all white. He thinks the all white will look sick.
I do too. I agree.
All white is fire. You can't go wrong with the all white.
The all white would be sick. I don't think we've done that since like the 60s.
Can't.
Because we didn't do that in the 70s. It was you could look it up. It was way back in the 60s.
And now Kenneth also says this: don't mess with the color rush. You can't mess with the color rush. I think the color rush is perfect. You mix and match your helmets. Don't want to do that. Oh, now Luke brings up a good point here when it comes to these jerseys. He says, "What about the gray face mask? He feels like he needs that back for the throwbacks."
Oh yeah.
Gray face mask, right?
Easily. Yeah. If we're gonna do the 70s throwbacks, we should have the gray face mask. He's 100% right.
He caught it. All right. Great face mask.
That's a great call.
Jeez, man, I'm getting. I gotta learn. I'm
Someone's bringing
here,
up the 1934 jerseys.
What did what that look like?
So that's the second year. Hold on, I gotta see this.
Sheesh.
I think they got him in a. Did they say a Star Wars custom? I just typed in 1934 jersey. That's not gonna get me anywhere. Got some random jerseys. I think that's the one I was talking about. The one that they brought back in '94.
With the stripes on it going vertical.
Yeah.
That's clean.
They're not bad. They're not bad. It basically be the Bumble. I like the Bumblebees better than those, but they're pretty close to the Bumblebees.
Now, this is an interesting question right here. Now, this is kind of switching subjects from the jersey conversation, going back a little bit to the free agency stuff, though. It's from Let's Go UW, University of Wyoming. Ha! Glad we got that squared out. He says, so on the topic of future free agents for next year, if Lamar Jackson doesn't get a deal with the Ravens and Ben Roethlisberger retires, would Lamar Jackson be a good fit for Matt Canada's system?
Oh, my.
He did throw in the caveat of Ben retiring, so you can't have him in your equation. We're good with that.
Okay, so.
Brings up a good point, though.
Yeah, Ben has to retire first.
Yeah, he says Ben's retired. That's what he says. He said it right there.
He said it was a good career.
He said Ben's retired. He says Ben retires. Yeah,
as long as Ben doesn't want to play anymore. We cleared it up.
Ben retires is what he said. That's what he said. I'm just throwing off what he said. That's what he said.
Wow.
Ben retires. Lamar Jackson doesn't sign a deal. How do you like him as a fit in Matt Canada's offense?
I mean, wouldn't that be a great fit?
Excellent. I would like it a lot.
Likelihood of
Very
that
much.
Happening
Slim to none.
I was gonna say the Ravens would just have to say, hey, we're good.
Yeah, they
we're
would
just
have
gonna draft a quarterback.
We're not gonna pick up your 5th-year option. We're not gonna extend you. Yeah.
Oh, so he still has the 5th-year option even too.
He was a first-round draft pick. Yeah.
Did they pick it up? They had.
I don't remember.
It would have been the deadline already, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they had that picked it up.
Because weren't they even talking about making a deal at some point this offseason?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
But if it didn't happen.
But either way, I would love for Lamar Jackson and Matt Canada's offense. That's like the perfect fit. That's why he works so well with was it Greg Roman in Baltimore. It's like perfect. This is what he is special for. This is, when you talk about a quarterback like Lamar, we say like you can't put him in any offense. You have to have a specific style of offense for him. And Greg Roman is that guy, but Matt Canada would also be that guy. So even though he is a Baltimore guy and we would not want him as our quarterback here because this is Pittsburgh.
They got out.
He would.
Is that the trade-off?
I'm just saying, man.
Al for Lamar Jackson.
I would not be against said trade. if that was the trade.
No, we got Wormley too.
Oh, yeah, so we got 2 for 1.
Icing on the cake, yeah.
You sick. Just traded it for Al. That's all we did. Yeah. All right. Now, Michael Patrick also says this. He says, I'm coming to some games this year. Been to several. Only once warm month games, though. LOL. And he also says the matte black for the helmets.
Dude, you got to come for the winter games, I feel like.
The winter games are where it's at, Michael.
They are.
As crazy as it feels, as crazy as it sounds, the winter games is nothing like when we bundled up out that thing. You got them things on you to keep you a little warm and to keep you hydrated throughout. It's just a vibe, though. It's
little snow.
You gotta have your little scarf, little toboggan on your head, man.
The winter games.
It's a vibe, man.
Yeah, if you drink enough, you got the beer coat on, it doesn't matter. They're just a better vibe.
And especially if you going in after a tailgate with us, holy cow.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. The summer games feel too much like baseball games to me, where you're just scorching out in the sun. Like if it's a 1 o'clock game, it's tough. I'm never gonna deny a ticket to one of those games. I will go 100%. But football, is once you hit October. Yes. It gets a little cooler, a little rainy.
Bro, you remember how hot we were when I think it was the
Seattle.
opening?
Yeah.
The Seattle, man, like I look at a picture, bro, and we're just like sweating through our shirts. Like it was brutal. It was fun up until Ben went down too. Then it just got sad. Yeah,
we made a little bit of a comeback though.
It was still sad. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't care about that game no more. I was sad. Sitting next to you. We looking at Ben standing on the sideline.
I just remember like it was like joking. Like we didn't think Ben was going to be out that long term.
We kept saying it's like Oakland. Remember? We said he going to pull that. He going to let Mason go in here for a little bit. Then he going to come back at the end. And he never came back.
Yeah, you didn't think it was reality.
I didn't think he was hurt, man.
You didn't, because I was like, no, man, Mason, screw this. You know, I don't care about Mason, whatever it is. And because you were just messing around the whole time. Yeah, it was like
just because I was sitting next to
you and John. And he's like, you were like, is Mason the guy? Is Mason the guy? Some people were like, he might be, and stuff. I'm like, nah, bro, we got to see it play out. And then I think the next podcast is whenever they made the announcement, and we're talking like,
you were sick.
No, well, no, you just changed your tune. You're like, oh man, I was just messing. Like
it was bad, bro.
This ain't right bad, without Ben.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was.
It was fun though. I was enjoying it more so because I got to watch you.
There's a charm to that season.
Yeah,
I think we can look back in 10 years.
It had its own little vibe.
It did.
It was fun.
Craziness.
In the midst of the chaos, we enjoyed ourselves.
Oh, were we 0-4 to start off?
Yeah, it was bad.
1-3. Well, it's funny because the Seahawks game we were roasting, but that Bengals game, I think it was week 4, week 5. That's all of a sudden when the weather turned, and like that was a nice vibe. Like, it was perfect night game.
Wasn't San Fran was?
We were scorching.
It was
kind of,
hot,
but it was a different
shade though too.
Well, it was I thought it was a different type of like I wasn't feeling the same way as that Seattle. It's like a different heat out in Cali, but where it's like bearable and it's like nice kind of.
Seattle, man, we was out that thing like Lord, it's hot.
Had those IPAs too. Someone was giving us. I think someone just randomly gave us some IPAs. They were terrible.
They did. For me, that was my first like, oh, I don't like IPAs. I just learned that right then in that moment. I had never had an IPA because I'm not a big beer guy. I think that's what got me coming up here and actually saying what I don't like to drink and what I do like. And then we had a dude, remember he brought us the Henny the next week. Yeah,
San Fran.
Absolutely. That's how it all started though, because it was, oh yeah, man, take the IPA. Like, yeah. Oh, Deke, I don't know what this is. You drink this, man. I don't drink this stuff.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to the hen dog. That was fire. All right. So, last time. You ready to go to this last one, man?
Sure.
All right, man. Because we about to be in here for... No, we ain't going to stay that long. That we not going to do.
What is this? Almost 2 hours?
Almost 2. We sitting at 2 right now, man.
That's our average these days.
It's crazy, man. You cut on the live, and before you know it, man, we just be out here rapping.
Yeah.
But we got to talk a little hoops, man. Got to talk a little hoops, and I'm glad that Manuel Molina has finally joined. I saw him hit us with the good afternoon.
I'm actually interested in his take. Is he concerned?
Yeah. We got to talk a little hoops. Can we start in the East, though? Because
sure, that happened most recently.
It's definitely happened most recently in terms of, shout out to you, Donald Copeland. Yes, Henny gang. Henny all day, baby. Keep it dark. But we go light. We don't discriminate, but Henny gang if I'm choosing. But yes, man. Atlanta Hawks, Milwaukee Bucks. You talk about storylines. You talk about the craziness. I mean, we obviously had Trey go berserk game 1, get the dub. Then we saw Giannis do his thing game 2. Then we saw them do it again in game 3. And it was looking like it was about to get bad because in game 3, Trey gets hurt.
Yep.
Obviously finished the game, but he was nowhere near the same player. You could tell that. And then he is ruled out early going into game 4. Ruled out. So
I could not believe that.
We're thinking it's over. Now, for me, every once in a while, I dabble in a little bit of the wagers, the gambling. So I had just made money on the Bucks winning in game 3. So now I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, maybe I should double down on this thing. And I was upset because I missed out, right? The odds obviously shifted drastically once the news about Trey came out. So I was like, you know what? I missed out. I'm going to just sit on it. And I remember telling myself, like, I don't even want to watch this game because it's going to be a blowout. But the Hawks started out fast, right? They got hot.
They did.
And they kept it. It's just, I'm like, all right.
10 points. It was around 10 points the whole game. You're like, all right, just wait for the Bucks to run away with it a little bit. Yeah.
And then Giannis goes down. Holy cow, bro. Giannis, and that just goes down, like grabbing on the knee. I'm thinking like, yo, it's over. Like he's done. And then obviously Atlanta wins it, ties the series. Now this is interesting because Have you seen any update on Giannis?
I'm looking at it right now.
I haven't seen any update on him just yet.
No structural damage to left knee of Giannis,
which is good.
It seems like they're saying hyperextended. Like that's what the initial report was. Here's CBS Sports.
When is he coming?
Giannis injury update. Bucks star avoids serious damage to knee. Listed as doubtful for Game 5.
See, because this is where it becomes interesting, right? If Trey is able to come back and Giannis is not.
Yeah. It seems like they're in the same exact spot of he's doubtful. Is Trey going to be doubtful, questionable?
Right, because Trey's coming off of the foot. I thought it was an ankle, but they called it a foot. But it definitely like an ankle when he stepped on the referee's foot and things like that. But, I'm really enjoying it, though, bro. I'm really in John Doe. Yeah, John Doe missed out. He said he missed on the Hawks plus 225 last night in that bet. Yes, a lot of us. It was rough, man. Yes.
They show the behind the scenes locker room, like coaches talk to the players. Yeah. Did you see this with Nate McMillan to the Hawks players? Where he was like, "Hey guys, Trey's out." Like this was the least motivational speech I've ever seen from a coach to the player. Like. Yeah. It was more or less like, hey, we all know Trey's out.
You know what it's going to be.
Hey, come on. Just give it your best. Just give it your best.
One for the Gipper.
He was trying. He's like, we've been in these scenarios before.
No, we haven't.
But you could see with his tone, it was he was saying some ums in between.
Yes. And as a player, you're looking like, Coach, you keep putting that gas in here. We going to hype ourselves up, Coach, but we know how this thing ends, baby.
They pulled it off, though. Yeah, I mean, they played the perfect game for it with them getting hot early, and then the Bucks never really getting there. You expected it, but then Giannis getting hurt really is a big game changer.
If I remember correctly, didn't we get airball Giannis that game too?
I think it was right off the bat.
Yeah, we got airball Giannis early in that game because they were counting. I remember, oh, dude, yeah.
Well, the one was from 3. He completely whiffed on that.
Oh, you talking about when the goal is here and he shot that thing over there?
Looked like a pass somewhat.
I was saying like, who was he shooting
Maybe.
at? Like, what was it looking?
Well, yeah, Barkley was saying at the hat, like he was pissed. He was like, if I'm the coach, like you cannot let Giannis shoot threes. Like you need to make some type of an agreement with him in the first half of the first quarter.
Let him shoot.
Like, bro, I'll pay you X amount of money if you just don't shoot threes in the first quarter. Let us try to get some touches around in our offense.
Because it looks bad when he.
Because they weren't playing too good. The Hawks were playing kind of inspired. Maybe the halftime or the pregame speech did work from McMillan, but you just expected the Bucks to start pulling through and coming back, but. They didn't get that opportunity with Giannis getting hurt because then the Hawks they knew. They were like, the Bucks are defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Now we could just start chucking up threes, and Bogdanovich completely went off in the third quarter.
Yeah, Bogdanovich. Like him, when he plays well, their team is so much better, man. When he struggles, it becomes so much more of a burden on Trey to just be crazy, or John Collins has to step up. But it was funny, John Collins was off that game, right? Because he's been playing well, but he was off that game, and then you get Bogdanovich who comes back and actually plays really well. So that was definitely good to see.
Well, you look at their team across the board. I mean, Cam Reddish coming out of nowhere, giving you 12 points.
Duke Blue Devils. I hate you.
You got Okongwu giving you 7, Gallinari with 10.
Yeah, Herter, he's another one who's been
Herter, everyone's just loving right now. He gave you 15, Bogdanovich 20, 21 from Lou, 15 from Clint Capella.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
How many is that in the double digits? I think that's 6.
And Capella's been playing well also, man. He's been doing his job, man.
Yeah, whereas with like the Bucks, man, with the honest guy, you just didn't get anything.
And Middleton didn't go crazy.
You didn't get anything.
That's the thing. I feel like you have to have Giannis go crazy, but Middleton is their guy. If Middleton isn't having one of them games where he's, oh man, Middleton can't miss. Middleton has made the most 3-point. Middleton's done this. If it's not one of those games, they struggle. It's rough for them, man.
His reputation's changed so much throughout this postseason. Oh, he's the guy. Like, he could be a guy. And then the next thing, no, this is why we never said he was the guy last year.
That's why he can't be the guy, man. This is why. This is exactly why, man. But
you just got to land on the right one.
It's that simple, man. It's a coin flip. But Mick Jag, shout out to you, Mick Jag. Mick Jag is officially a part of the Upper Room. So, Mick Jag, welcome to the Upper Room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, we got a serious question right here from Frank K. Frank K is asking not just me, he's asking you and the group.
Okay.
He's thinking about putting $1,000 on the Suns tonight. What are your thoughts?
I wouldn't do it. I don't trust him. I would not do it. You saw how CP3 sounded whenever they brought up 3 points. Like, don't bring that up. Don't bring that up. You know they're thinking about it. Clippers are playing with house money.
They are.
And their squad's kind of nice with how it's playing out right now with Reggie Jackson playing amazing. Paul George stepping up.
But Paul George mentally,
Boogie
how you
Cousins.
feel about Paul George right now? Because I wanted to give him credit about where he's at mentally, but then he says that he's the most criticized, and then obviously you saw Charles Barkley get on him and stuff like that.
Oh, he said this,
or I don't know. Did he say it directly? I know people around him. No, he did say it, and then the people around him reiterated it. Yes, and that's why Charles Barkley went at him.
What you're saying is like they're in his head and that he had to go out and say something like that. With how he's playing.
Yeah,
dude, I don't care. Like he's playing really
he's
good.
Looking good. But this is different though. This is closeout.
I mean, last one was close. That's what I mean. Yeah. Down 3-1.
But I feel like that was different though. That was a harder close. Like 3-1 versus 3-2. I just feel like
they're back at home.
Yeah, 3-1. You know, like yo, we have to. Like it's no excuse. Like we got to get this. Once you get that though, I think now it's kind of like all right. Man,
I'm telling you, Suns are tight right now, man.
Nah, bump that, man. The biggest thing though.
So should he put the 1,000?
The reason I was gonna say the reason why I wouldn't do the 1,000, not because of I'm scared of Paul George. It's Devin Booker. That's the one for me. Like
ain't the same.
He has been struggling with that mask. You seen ever since he put the mask on, he tried to take it off in the game. He is not right with that mask on. His shot just looks off. I know Patrick Beverley is still doing a good job of irritating him and stuff like that defensively, but he just hasn't looked the same since breaking that nose. So that's for me why I wouldn't put the 1K on it. And I do think the longer it goes, the more it gets in the sunset and they get tighter. And obviously Chris Paul said what he said because of that. You could tell like he's thinking about it too. I just don't trust Devin Booker right now. And Devin has played well. I'm low-key mad because I'm like, if this Devin showed up in that LA series, it's different. But we got the super confident Devin that showed up in that series. Right now, we're seeing a little bit of a tight Devin. And yeah.
CP was playing seriously, better too man, with that LA series. He was closing out games from the mid-range.
Yeah, man. That's my thing, dude. I just...
Could the Clippers do it, man? I mean, it's just the pieces are lining. They have a bunch of dudes that were written off around the league, like Batum.
I mean, we've seen this happen before.
Boogie Cousins.
We've seen one guy Jackson. We've seen one guy do this before versus a historically great team, the best team in NBA history. In fact, record wise, we've seen it. I mean, on the biggest stage in the NBA Finals, we've seen it.
Oh, Ty Lue's the coach. We've seen maybe he's bringing a little some of that.
He's done that. He's now granted he had a different star player. It wasn't playoff P. Wasn't hurt Kawhi. It was, a different guy. You know that guy. Some people call him GOAT. Some people call him Kang. That guy. But he's done it. He's come back from 3-1 versus, not so good odds. I think this, if you're Ty Lue, though, you probably looking at this like, yo, it's kind of sweet right here. We could get this one. I don't think you're looking at this like Golden State.
Money, man.
Golden State 3-1. It's kind of, we're going to need some stuff to go in our favor. This right here, though, I'm not that confident in the Suns. Not.
It could easily be 3-2 Clippers if that game 2 goes a little different.
Easily, man.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Or even didn't both of those first 2 games have crazy endings?
Yes, am I off on absolutely. This? Remember the alley-oop dunk to win it? That's how they got out of the game. Was that game 1 or game 2?
No. The other one I'm thinking of is the really defensive one that they played in game 4. That was even close. Yeah. 80-84 and finished up. And one break goes the other way, and all of a sudden,
the only game that it got bad was game 3. Game 3, the Clippers got after the Suns.
Oh yeah,
but for some reason they said like game 3 for the Clippers throughout this playoffs has been just nuts. Like,
oh yeah. Once you go down 0-2,
and down the stretch, they say like down the stretch they're 9-1 or now 10-1. Excuse me, after game 3s. Yeah. So that's another reason. You know what? Don't put that 1K down, man. Don't do that. just keep that 1K in your pocket.
Just put 50, just maybe to have some fun tonight.
Do a prop bet. What about 50 on a win? Devin Booker to have 20 points or under 20? Because Devin, I parlayed him. It was the under 27 for him. Bucks to win and something else. That's what I was hitting on. I'm like, yeah, I like Devin under this because Devin's been struggling right now. So I would look more that way than just 1K straight up on the Suns. Just, hedge it a little bit. Hedge it just a little bit. All right. Now, Michael looks like, we got 2 from you, Michael. All right. Let me read yours back to back real quick. Yeah, Deke, what you doing over here, man? You let your computer go to sleep. Yeah. Man. Get in the game here. But Michael says, in terms of Giannis, the hyperextension looked bad. And I definitely do agree with that. It did look bad. But he also says suggestion. 24 hours, straight live show. Maybe to kick off training camp. Is that it with this?
Oh, no. They're combined comments.
Oh, to kick off training camp
he was just feeling pretty generous.
I see it now. I see it. For 24,000 subscribers.
Did we hit 24K right now?
No, we're at 23K right now, if I remember.
We might have hit 24.
Make it a super chat event with chances to win warm weather game tickets with Deke and Moats. This is something we might look into. You know what?
Look at these ideas just
it happens like that, man.
Popping through in this chat.
It definitely happens like that.
Now, Frank K is bringing up a good point. I wanted to talk about this whenever we bring up the honest injury.
That man Frank said he's going to put 2K on him now.
Does this take away anything for you with these playoffs, with all these injuries?
Nah. But for me, it was just different. Like when LeBron went out, I ain't really care. Just because it's like, I've heard every excuse or why something doesn't count or why it should be asterisks in terms of LeBron. And I'm looking at this like, bro, you could make an even stronger case about this playoffs than last year's playoffs. So that's why for me, I'm like, I'm good. I don't think it makes it any more watered down. I mean, injuries happen. It is what it is. It's a part of the game. I mean, if you're fortunate enough to be the healthiest team at the end of the year, man, that championship still reads championship on it. It's still very tough to do because like we've seen in these series, right? Just because a star player goes down, that does not mean that the series is over. It does not mean your role players can't step up. If Kawhi doesn't go down, we don't get to see Terrence Mann go for 39 points against Luka. We don't get to see Reggie.
How he's playing.
We don't get to see Reggie Jackson's consistently standing up like this, right? Even Patrick Beverly. I joke about Patrick, but think about every game we've seen Patrick Beverly hit multiple 3-pointers now, right? He low-key got a decent shot. Ben Simmons, what's up, baby? It's crazy. Patrick Beverly, I think Giannis and Ben Simmons. How is Patrick Beverly a better 3-point shooter than y'all? Like, that's what I feel like right now. When I watch Patrick Beverly shoot the ball, he makes
I'm telling you, Simmons has a nice shot. Some of these practice tapes I see.
Nope. If I ain't seen it in the game, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to hear any about no practice. What I said, practice? Not the game. Practice? I don't want to hear nothing about no practice.
He might need to. It just might be a mental thing. That's all. He might just need to see someone. That's all. Because I think his shot's good.
Hey, you need to see something. Jesus, upper room, big Deke, small Deke, somebody Deke. You need to see something. that shot ain't working. That's all I know. PJ Tucker shoot that ball better than him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he actually shoots. That's the thing. He actually shoots.
And PJ's not a great shooter.
That corner three though. Like that's his specialty.
So Ben can't develop. That's what I'm saying.
No, that's what I mean. It's got to be something mental. He just doesn't do it.
Bro, you can shoot that. How can you not get that? You hit that joint.
Like I was telling you, it's something with who he is as a person. Where if something's not going his way, he'll like shy away from it. Then rest of the game, because he doesn't. I don't know. I don't know if it's he doesn't want to be embarrassed about it, or he just doesn't want to cost the team by missing batch. Like he gets really down on himself about it. That's what I've heard at least because. There's no way you can't shoot. Like, with how tall he is and how talented he is and like his physique and everything.
He should be a really good player offensively. Like in every
Not
aspect.
even saying you have to be this amazing 3-shooter, but to be able to get your own shot in the perimeter is
there should
definitely
be no
something to be striving for.
Absolutely, man.
Because it's back. The mid-range is kind of back.
It is. I mean, I like the fact that it's back. I'm a big believer in the mid-ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So who you got today, man?
Is this the Clippers? Yeah, Suns.
Clippers Suns.
I got Clippers, man.
Ooh, let me see if Frank changed that bet one time. Frank, because he said he going with the Clippers, but everybody else is going CP3. I'm seeing CP3 in here. Big Gerbil, Trina Steele, Diva 5. They on that CP3 action.
Careful.
Call me K, say Ty Lue with the comeback.
I know, careful. Careful with CP3 calls.
Oh, and then Trina Steele Diva, I agree with you on this. She says, Frank K, don't put that 2K on this game. Put that 2K on the Steelers cruise. That's a good idea. That'd be a vibe right there.
Hey, they were 2-0 with Chris Paul, right? He came back game 3.
With him or without him? Hold on, say it.
They were 2-0 without Chris Paul.
Yeah,
those first 2 games.
They were. Yep.
I mean, he did have some of those free throws in that one game I was talking about, the low scoring game to help close it out. But
yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man.
I don't know, man.
Who are you picking tonight?
All right. Oh man, as much as I want to go Suns, I'm gonna go Clippers, man.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think that they get it done. I low key feel like they do. I think that Paul George, he continues to silence the critics, man. If you look at the playoffs, like he's balling. Like,
yeah, I think it was outside of one game, but that was when Kawhi was still playing.
But seriously, outside of them 2 missed free throws that he had, like his playoffs have been nasty. Like points, field goal percentage, like he's hitting across the board, 3-pointers, everything. Like he has definitely stepped up in a major way. So I'm gonna ride with that. You know what?
Playoff P.
I'm gonna give him another chance. I don't call him by that name because he gave himself that name. I can't respect it, but I will give him a chance. I'm feeling like he's showing me flashes of Indiana Pacers, Paul George, which I actually like.
I don't think Pacers George ever did any of this. Like I'm talking about dude. His point totals are crazy right now.
But see, the point totals is I also look at that as like a product of the scenarios, right? Between the competition where the injuries are, and then also a lack of Kawhi Leonard being out there, it forces him to be more like that, right? But what I'm saying is in Indiana, where you had Danny Granger, who was still a legitimate scoring threat, you had Roy Hibbert, who they were liking to feed as well, and you were going up against the super Miami Heat team, right? When I would see him step up out there, even though his numbers were lower, mentally, he was a dog.
Oh yeah, people were saying he's going to be the next
savage.
Guy.
Absolutely,
people were really high on him.
Yeah, like man, when he banged, I forgot, was it? No, was it Birdman he banged on? He hit someone with a nasty off. Man, that's the Paul George. Like this, what I'm seeing now was reminding me of that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
As crazy as it sounds, too. Yeah. I guess maybe could you point to different eras in a way? Because those Pacers games, those were a little bit more defensive. And
that was before he broke his leg too.
Yeah. Whereas now you're seeing a lot more space, a lot more shooting, threes. Yeah. So, but you're just talking about the mentality and what he's not scared. He's just going for it.
Monster. Like he was going to go at you offensively and defensively. Right now, he scores well, but even in the midst of him performing the way that he's performing in the playoffs, we still have seen moments where he looks weak. Mentally, it's like, what are we getting from you, Paul? All right, we know you're filling up the stat sheet, but when it's crunch time, right here, we got to have is like, how are you going to react in this scenario? We're not as confident with Paul George in LA as we are in that scenario when he was in Indiana. That's what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
So, is that all we got for NBA? You see these Space Jam trailers and stuff. What do you think?
I have been seeing them, man. I like them.
You getting a little hype?
A little hype. I'm always hype, man. First, because I love Space Jam. I love anytime it's basketball, and I love LeBron. So when I got that type of mix, man, yeah, and it gave me a new reason to buy new stuff. Well, I didn't have to buy a wifey bought it, so she got me and little man.
You get the jersey?
No, she did Space Jam shirts though. Yeah,
okay,
we got like the shirts, stuff like that. The jersey,
I know you weren't a big fan of them. You coming
I like
around
the
to
old
a little
school
bit?
jersey. Nah, I like the old one still. I would probably get it just because it's LeBron, but that was no different when I got the Jordan one. I got it just because it was Jordan. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I feel like you could probably rock some nice kicks with that. You know what ones would be nasty with those? Do you remember the LeBron? I think it were the 9s. Okay. The Big Bangs.
Okay.
He won the All-Star. Yeah, the all-orange one. About? Those would be badass with those jerseys.
You got some options with it because the colorways, man. Like that. I like it. I don't like the jersey as much, but we'll make it work. I like the shirts though.
Is that all we got then? It's a good podcast.
I feel like it is, man. This was solid right here, baby. This was good work today, man. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's go through these chat one more time. Make sure we are good.
My computer's dead again. Let me pull it up and see if I'm missing anything.
Yeah, because we have people talking about Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. That fight's coming up, but
is it?
Well, not right now. I mean, like I think it's what. I gotta check on my calendar, man. But it's
couple weeks. Is it in July?
Yeah, it's coming up, man.
I might actually watch that one.
That'd be cool. It'd be cool, man. But other than that, though, I don't see anything else. So, yeah, man. Guess we wrap this thing up. So, shout out to everybody that tuned in today on this journey with us to Mars and back. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. And until next time, Deke.
Peace.